All right, good morning, everybody. If you can hear me and if the mic sounds good, hit that number 1, please. And if you can hear me and if the mic sounds good, hit that number 1. Gurpreet, Trucking. Is anybody else here? Hello? Props, Maddie. I always like to get to at least 5 ones. And if you can hear me and if the mic sounds good, hit the number 1. Let's just make sure. We need one more 1. What's going on? All right, HC, thank you. HC, you are the knight in shining armor. Okay, hopefully this is not how the stream goes in terms of chat box participation. This is going to be a rough one. But anyways, very quickly before I get started here, for those of you that watched us in the archive, thank you very much. But to be very upfront, if you want to have something to continue to watch in the archive, then this is totally viewer supported. And the best way to support the stream is to save yourself money at the same time by using code CLAY, which is case sensitive. So it's got to be all caps CLAY. With any of these prop firms I use, I love, I recommend Take Profit Trader. But if you're using any of these firms, then like I said, whatever current promotions and discounts and deals they're running, code CLAY will give that for you, which like I said, at the same time, you're saving self money while supporting the stream. For everybody that is here live right now, thank you very much. For everybody that has used code CLAY and continues to use it, you all are the reason why this remains ad-free and why I show up on a daily basis and have not missed a stream in over a year now. Including the holidays. You know, I always try to show up and make a little bit of an appearance. So as long as people keep using code CLAY and it makes sense for me to be here, I will be here. Yeah, right on the screen, brother. Code CLAY. Apex, right there, brother. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It is, what is it today? Wednesday, August 26th. The year is 2026. And yeah, off to a good start so far. Does it remain like it's been? That remains to be seen. But hopefully we don't have yesterday was rough. Hopefully we do not have that. Any new promotions are coming up? I'm assuming, okay, Gurpreet, I'm assuming you mean to take, no, probably not. My guess would be next promotion will be Black Friday. Because Take Profit Trader does not run the whole, well, I mean, they always have the promotion. Right now it's back to 40% off and no activation fee. But yeah, the next time it goes up to 50% or they do some other little twist, probably won't be until Black Friday, which is why, like I said, the deal was a genuine good deal on Take Profit Trader over the past borderline week and a half. I'm feeding hungry children. Thank you. Well, hopefully, Matt, you're feeding them just because you're adding more, not because you're blowing up accounts. There are a lot of hungry children. That is true. There are 6 hungry children. So yes, Code CLAY feeds hungry children. They are my children, but I do have 6 of them. So yeah. All right, maybe a short here as hello. Okay, I don't like this. I do not. I'm getting out again. That second time it's done that. I submitted that order and there was a good 1,001. Yeah, probably about a second and a half delay before it showed up. All right, let me try refreshing real quick, see if that maybe helps out. But I've had now 2 trades in a row where it did that exact same thing. I hit the button and nothing showed up. And then all of a sudden I was in the trade. Thankfully, both trades so far, I went into the green, but I do not like that one bit. It's a fair point. Well, Clay, dude, chill out. It's a second and a half. Does a second and a half really matter? In futures, yeah, it does. It does. Especially when you're doing this type of trading that I'm doing, which is more of the, especially on a scalpy scalp. Unfortunately, I've blown it. Bummer, Matt. But thank you. Thank you for using the code. I appreciate it. My kids appreciate it. I'm green, but not as green as the trade. So you were part of that conversation, HC? Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Every blown account, but like in all honesty, I don't want to be paid from blown accounts, right? I want, because eventually blown accounts mean you're going to run out of money and then you'll never feed hungry children again. You'll never use code CLAY ever again if you run out of money. That is why I prefer people figure it out and then expand. Because part of prop firm trading is you're going to just blow accounts. That's just kind of part of it, especially from a risk management standpoint. But I'd rather have the blown accounts be occurring, maybe 5 here, 5 here, because, you're copy trading 40 at account at a time. But overall, you're making money. But if every week you're using the code 5 to 10 times, which might sound bad because you blew 5 to 10 accounts, well, yeah, but if that means you're crushing it with 40 accounts, then to me, that's long. And again, I'm thinking long-term wise, I make more money that way from code Clay. But so yeah, I actually do not cheer people just flat out blowing accounts without ever, and to the point where they never figure anything out, because those people will run out of money eventually. I'd rather just have you blowing accounts within a broader framework of still overall success, and part of that overall success is just you're going to cook accounts on the way. Hey, good morning, Tony. Did I see the NQ? No, Nero. I do not use a 4-hour. Some of you make me laugh. Like, Nero, surely by now you know I'm not like a huge user of the 4-hour time frame, but thanks for checking in. Wait, what? Oh, the pivots disappeared. I was like, wait, okay, I was very confused. Okay, even that is getting. Anybody else having trade ovate issues today? Hello, pivots. Can I get the pivots? I still don't know if I got the pivots to show up. All right, yeah, trade ovate is definitely on the struggle bus here. There we go. Pivots showed back up. Okay, we'll look for a potential short up here. This is the previous session close. If I make 1K on TPT to an account. No. I'm like it's a trailing drawdown. So your drawdown is trailing you up. But you wouldn't want to make $1,000 anyways on a 25K account because you'd be violating the consistency rule on that one. Yeah, the commissions a couple weeks ago, that was a topic of conversation. But I again, give and take. To be fair, now with the test period down to 5 days or down to 3 days, I think that's a counterbalance, at least if I'm thinking about their angle of things. And then if the rumors are true and they maybe get away, take away the trailing drawdown for others, like I say, give and take. So yeah, I was not a huge fan, but as someone that does trade NQs, I was happy to see the NQs commissions get cheaper. Okay, here we go. Maybe a short here. Okay, I'm looking for a short here at the orange line, which is the previous session close. Oh, on a pro account. Oh, yeah, it's a trailing drawdown. So now once you get above the buffer, then yeah, you can start to build. Like your drawdown will technically grow, aka you'll build the buffer. But I don't build buffers. I just take anything that's available for me to take as a payout. I just take as a payout. I'm not saying that's how it needs to be, but for me personally, I'll just take the money. I'm not interested in building a buffer. Good, because I was kicking myself. Well, hey, Tony, on the bright side, congrats on your first payout. All right, at this point, I want to let this candle here finish moving around. So we got about 20 seconds. I can't do all the math right now for you, brother. I'm sorry. Maybe somebody else can help you out. But I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to think if this is a good trade. And now all of a sudden doing drawdown calculations in my head at the same time. I don't like the odds I give you a wrong answer are kind of high, and I'd hate to give you a wrong answer. You still losing a lot. I'm not sure what you mean. Look at this 5-minute here. Yeah, this candle right now, the way it's looking, has me very scared to be getting long anytime right now. So I'm going to just kind of sit on my hands. Hey, Sky Mountain. Yeah, agreed. Hit that like button. Remember to use code Clay. Thank you for the reminder. Again, Malik, if you want to track, like it'll track your drawdown for you. I don't remember exactly how I get there, but towards the end of this video, Malik, it'll show you how I set up my columns, and then there's a column that you can put in that will calculate all. So you'll know in real time what your drawdown actually is. Again, and the reason I don't remember is because I set up this the platform well over a year ago. So I don't remember kind of the nooks and crannies, but I think towards the end of that video, it'll show you a column that you can throw in there that on your pro account, it'll keep you in real time what your drawdown is. So I'm trading all from my phone. Oh, gotcha. Hey, Discipline Futures. Well, we got to be a little compassionate to the options trader. I was once an options trader, stock trader, day trader. Now I don't have as big of an excuse, but a lot of people, they don't know about futures, right? If you think about it, you're brand new. Most brand new people, I assume, have heard of the stock market. In fact, that's what they think they're getting into. They're like, all right, I want to make money in the stock market, because that's what I saw in a textbook once in school was the stock market. And then, because options are so, then those people tend to like, oh, there's these things called options. Very few, and I could be wrong, but I highly doubt any high school student has heard futures market. Maybe they have in like an economics class or something. But I think most people, they've heard of the stock market, not the futures market, which voila, is a big point of this live stream, is to make people aware of futures, day trading futures through a prop firm, and just how powerful it is. Because yeah, does not shock me that many of your acquaintances are doing options. Probably because they've never even heard of futures or don't understand the power of futures. Clay, do you have a link to set up price? I mean, Gurpreet, the link that I sent Malik up above, that shows you exactly how I set up, everything here. Yeah, there is something within Tradeovate. Again, if you set up Tradeovate, you'll know what your drawdown is in real time. But yeah, you can't rely on the dashboard, because you're right. The dashboard only updates once at the end of the day. But within Tradeovate, you can monitor your drawdown in real time. They don't like futures and try. Okay, well, you have to send them here. I'll do some math with them. Here's the easiest math right here. This is where I always start with options traders, and why option day trading is just, it doesn't make any sense mathematically speaking. So here's the way options work. So let's say you buy an option, okay, and it goes up. Well, this is the obvious way. Oh, of course, that you make money. No problem there. Other obvious thing is, okay, if it goes down, you lose money. Nothing fancy there. Well, but a price can do three things. A price can also just go sideways. Now, the normal person is say, okay, well, that's the neutral spot. Nothing really happens. Well, no, that's not true. In options, you also lose money. Why? Because there is something called theta. So let's think about it. In the world of options, of the three things a price can do, two of those three will lead you to losing money. I mean, you have a 67% chance to lose money when you buy an option. Why? Why would you choose to deal with that sort of math when you don't have to? Because with futures, there is no theta. This does not exist. So sideways in the world of futures literally means sideways, literally means neutral. So, I mean, Tony Gold, that's where I would start with your buddies. Be like, why are you doing things where you have a 67% chance? Now, if they're like, but Tony, I make money, then that's where you say, dude, that is so impressive. Like, and again, not even joking, that is very impressive that you can make money in that sort of environment. But imagine how much more money you'd be making if you didn't have to worry about theta. Like, you're not operating efficiently. You're making your life harder than it needs to be. So to anybody here that is a day trader of options and you're like, well, I make money, keep in mind, my argument is not that you can't make money day trading stocks or day trading options. My argument is one of efficiency. Like if you can make money under those conditions of having to deal with theta, imagine how much more better and bigger of a baller you would be if you did not have to deal with theta. It'd be quite impressive. Hey, good morning, Abby. Like I said, yeah, no, I am, and I know a lot of you get sick of me hearing this, but like, yeah, we're as far as I'm concerned, we're in the golden age of day trading. The invention of micro futures, truly game changing, and then you have prop firms. So there is no better time to get involved or to be day trading than right now. Day trading futures through a prop firm, the math supports it. The math, I think, makes it very straightforward. It is just truly a no brainer. We are in the golden age of day trading. Are you going over the? No, there's nothing to talk about. No blown accounts, nothing to really discuss. But thank you for reminding me because it is 11. Well, yeah, Philly, but I know you should know. You should know better than I'm talking about in general. To people that are new, again, do you think they're really writing option spreads and selling? Not to mention, selling. Again, this will sound creepy, but this is actually not me. This is real terminology. Selling options naked, especially, is one of the craziest things. Like it's one of the most risky things you can do. So yeah, sure. Can you sell up? But yeah, again, that's arguing outliers to try to over. That's not anywhere close to the norm. While true, sure. It's also true that if you pick the winning lottery numbers, playing the lottery is a good idea. You know. Yeah, again, you have to remember who I'm operating under the premise of my target demographic here, Philly. I'm here assuming I'm trying to get people to think about futures through a prop firm. And, basics, again, if you go and research, like when you overwhelm people, you just turn them off, right? It's like, never mind. That's why I'm just trying to keep it simple. Keep it simple, not expand the knowledge base. Like, well, you could consider iron butterflies, but then again, you could go do, leapfrog. It's just like, okay, again, the core goal of this live stream is to make people aware of day trading futures through a prop firm. That's it. Wait, you're not here to expand knowledge bases about? No, I'm not actually, because per my premise, per my goals, that would just create overwhelmingness by creating that many more pathways for people to consider. So no, I'm not here to do that. That would be in violation of my key business premise. Well, sure, yeah, no, and the advanced options trading strategies, they do work the vast majority of the time, high win rates. But per your point, the time it doesn't work, it can get bad in a hurry. Like in a little, like very, especially selling options naked. And the reason why it's called naked is there's nothing to, basically, there's no stop loss. There's no risk protection mechanism. That's why it's selling it naked, negative relative to the risk. You have no coverage. So if you're not covered, you're naked. So that's, no. But that's always a goofy one to try to explain. You get some weird looks from people. Don't sell your options naked. And everybody's just like, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, for me, for baboons like myself, I like the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, well, thankfully we're talking in their situation. You're talking about sleep. But trading, things get a little goofy. So there you go, Tony Gold. Start with that. Be like, why are you putting yourself in an environment where you have a 67% chance of losing money? Talk to them in math, Tony. See what they have to say about that. Now, as we've seen here, some people, because for whatever reason, they will do extreme amounts of mental gymnastics to try to overcome the math, which is why one of our favorite moments was somebody went to the lengths to say that zero DT options don't have theta, which still stands as probably the craziest claim we've heard. What is that orange line? This right here is the previous session close. So if I click on it, right there, last close. I call it previous session, but yeah, that's where the previous session closed at. Cool, Tony Gold. Well, I'm glad to have played a small little role. Yeah, and stuff like that too, Kevin. Like it's it can, like anything, right? There's always trade-offs. There are no holy grails. And that, by the way, that does include day trading futures through a prop firm. That's not a holy grail either. I do think it makes a lot of sense though. Okay, here we go. Maybe a short here. Not maybe, I'm going to try shorts. See if we can get the rejection off of this. Off this previous session close. So if that red line turns blue, I am in. If it goes up through the green line, then I'll have to go back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm in. All right, let's see if it wants to reject or not. It did not. It did not want to reject. All right. Okay, they're always, yeah, well, you know, like I said, take them through that experiment. Show them how they have a 67% chance. And again, if they're like, well, I make money, just say, good for you. Imagine how much more money you'd make without theta. Man, gold just bleeding. What's oil? Oh, and oil up a little bit. Nothing huge though. You're long, all right. Keeping the Westwild thinks that it's very happy that oil and the indices have been moving together. He's happy because of that. Okay. Okay. Hey, whatever makes you happy, brother. Well, kind of. That's actually, no, that's really bad. Yeah, that's kind of bad logic. Hey, what's up, Southpaw? Nice job, MJ. Good job. Clay, how much? I don't keep buffer. I do not build buffer. If I'm owed 37 cents, I'm taking the payout of 37 cents. I do not build buffer. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's right, but here's the question you have to ask yourself in terms of that. When I go on tilt, how bad does it get? If you're saying I never go on tilt, then you're lying to yourself. So that there's a flaw in your premise already. But when I go on tilt, how bad does it get? And for me, when I go on tilt, if I have a buffer of, let's say, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, that's not going to save me. That is cooked. That is going to be gone regardless. So because of that, I might as well just take the money because it's not going to save me anyways. Now, if you say, well, Clay, I do go on tilt, But I'm actually pretty good at pulling the reins, recovering, pulling myself out of the funk. And that $2 to $3 extra $1,000, that could actually be just the cushion I need to help me get myself out of the funk and then to keep grinding forward. If that's how you answer that question, then yeah, it would make sense to me why you would want to build buffer. So do you build buffer or not? I don't know. Be honest with you of how you answer the question. How bad does tilt get? Like I said, for me, tilt gets bad to the point, which is bad, which is sad. But it kind of is what it is. But yeah, if I go on tilt, yeah, that extra couple $1,000, it's not going to do anything for me. All right, Southpaw. Well, thanks for swinging in. All right. Good morning, Mats. Mats, you got 3 questions today. Because Mats might be a bot. So there's the pullback I was looking for, but unfortunately for me, I was short, and that move right there kicked me out of the trade before coming down now. It happens. It happens. How did we talk about options so early in the show? Oh, yeah, that's right. Tony Gold and his friends. Okay, that's what sent us down the options rabbit hole. Be back at the end of the day. All right, John, have a good one. All right, let's see here. For some reason, I'm kind of wanting to get long now. If this comes down around here, I'm gonna take a swing at it from the long side. Yeah, price action. I think most people would agree price action has been solid today. Just please don't turn into what happened yesterday. That was rough. That was rough. So hopefully that can be avoided. But we'll see what happens. Come on, brother. Come on, Rim. You got to just watch the live stream, dog. Have you not seen me like constantly talking about my emotions? And have you heard me talk about how sometimes I laugh to cope? Like you've heard it. Come on, man. Come on, brother. You got to watch the straight. I mean, you've been watching for like the past 3 months. Surely you've heard me talk about that before. Again, I don't like have a specific spot, but like just watching. That's pretty much what this entire thing is me just coping, like trying to not go on tilt. Right? Sometimes I'll laugh, and then I say, and I know many of you have heard me say this a million times. Then I'll say, I'm not laughing right now because I'm not treating this seriously. I'm laughing because it's a coping mechanism to help me not go on tilt. Like you've never heard me say that, Riblet? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Okay, here we go. Maybe, like I said, I'm gonna try a long right here. Okay, come on down. All right, don't bounce off the purple line. Just a little bit more, then give me the hammer. Give me that hammer off of the 21. Come on. You rat. You little rat. All right, that's the move I wanted. Here's another way I cope with that tilt. You just call the price a rat. That helps me if you name call. Feels like we're just going to be in a range today. Well, I mean, so far, I don't know if I would consider this any sort of range. Just seems like some pretty hefty price movements. Unless you're maybe you mean we're gonna enter into a range. I mean, that's basically what trading is trying not to go into tilt, right? Okay, I want to see how this candle finishes, and then maybe I'll try again on the next candle. But yeah, as of now, oh so close, yet oh so far away. I'm going to try a long right here. The white line's out there. It's just not relevant right now. The magic bean indicator is we'll go find it. I don't want to take my eyes off this one right now. Okay, I am long. On the 5 minute, this is the 21 EMA and this pivot point. So kind of had like a smooch level here, but as of now, it doesn't seem to really be caring about it. Let's give it a chance though. I don't want to stop out right before the VWAP. Well, I guess stupid me to start to be convinced by the bulls that this was just a healthy pullback. Because as of now, joke's on me. All right, maybe I'll just. All right, I'm gonna buy some more right there. See if we can get the bounce off of VWAP. That is the 200 SMA right there. Oh, hit me. Thank you. What a gift. All right. Glad I did not stop out right where, that was just glad I bought more. And then look at that. My Knight in Shining Armor, the 200 SMA. Boing. New high of day on oil again. Oh, yeah, looks like it. Again, why didn't I stop? I just look at the 5 minute at that time. I mean, to stop out like at this big old clump, that would have been brutal. So I was willing to risk maybe taking a little bit of a heftier loss by putting the odds what I think were in my favor, and it looks like they were of a bounce right there. But yeah, I just to stop out like right there at this big old batch of potential bounce point, and then to see it bounce, I'll take it. Again, does not mean that it was guaranteed to bounce. If I was wrong, it would have been a heftier loss. But like I said, that's what I'm talking about. I was willing to take on a heftier loss because I thought I had better odds that it would bounce. There's no need to apologize for that. No need to apologize for that, for being short. We both made money. No need to apologize when we both made money. That's crazy talk right there. Sounds like you made way more money, but hey, I'll take it. If it does come back down here, I could see myself interested in trying another long, mainly based on the 5 minute, because as I was just showing you, 5 minute has a lot of congestion down around here. So does the 2 minute, though. I got out when your chart showed. Ah, roger that. Yeah, we'll try a long down there if it wants to come back down. Planning for a bear flag here. Your bear flag has got a lot of work it's got to do on the 5 minute. Oh, short 245. Okay, yeah, that's a little different then. Because by the time it gets all that congestion, you'd already be plenty in the green. So, oh, do I try this short here? Yeah, I'm gonna try it short. Only if it comes back down. If it goes up through the purple line, then this current trade plan is no longer going to be valid. So never mind. Ooh, that was delayed. That was delayed. I clicked to exit out, and it's still only like a second and a half, but second and a half is still not. Okay, that was instant. 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 All right. Really a no trade zone for me. Roger that. Should do a poll to see who thinks Nvidia ticker will go. Oh my goodness. Please, Nvidia, just have earnings. Please just have earnings now so people stop talking about Nvidia. Goodness. Oh. Good. Just yeah. All right. Let me call up the CEO real quick. Yeah. Hey, can you put earnings out like right now? No. I'm going bonkers. Yeah. No. Yeah. I have a straight jacket that I'm starting to put on because everybody just keeps talking about it. No, you're not gonna do. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, you're at the beach right now. Okay. Sorry. Bye. Okay. No. Sorry. I tried. Hung Swang or whatever the guy's name is. No. Yeah, somebody has earnings today. Not quite sure who. Like the crescendo of my week and month and year and decade will be for Nvidia to just get earnings out of the way. Hung Swang. Yeah, what is his name? Isn't it Zheng? Yeah, it's Hung Swang, isn't it? Isn't that how you pronounce it or no? Somebody tell me how to pronounce it. Yeah, but it's not American, so that's not Jensen. Spot. See, told you. Okay, we'll try a long down here. Had to hold a bit, but I'm out for 10. Roger that. I had to hold for a bit. What, like 3 minutes? We sound like such psychopaths to the sway traders, where they're like minimum hold time is 4 hours, and they're like, man, I had to hold for a bit. Whew, that was kind of long. You're like, well, how long did you hold? Oh, 2 minutes. Imagine how psycho we sound to some people. It's crazy. But to be fair, if you're holding a position for 4 hours, you sound kind of psycho to me. That just illustrates that nobody's necessarily psycho. We just have different trade. Like we just have different personalities. Could be Larry. Could be Larry. Could be. I mean, that is my middle name. I'm not sure how people do that with just with very small position size. Yeah, again, that sounds just like crazy. Like some people would assume you're trolling to say that to call 30 minutes an eternity when their bare minimum is 4 hour hold. And to reiterate, if you're somebody here and you're like, what are you talking about? My average hold time is 5 hours. We're not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm just trying to, illustrate how there really are so many different strategies and approaches to the market. I think people have bought nanos, but they're having trouble selling because the liquidity is so bad. They're like, hey, does anyone want to buy? Hey, hello? Dang, Alfonso, good job. Did you feed hungry kids, Alfonso? Please tell me you fed some hungry kids. Thank you, sir. You're a saint. We can say with certainty that Alfonso is anti-child starvation.
Clay, that's kind of excessive for you to imply that if we don't use your code, we want children to starve.
Nope, no, I'm truthful. There's no, no, that's not mean. That's not deceitful at all. I'll die on that hill. I have my flag. I planted it on the hill of you are pro child starvation if you don't use code Clay, because code Clay does feed hungry children. So again, I don't sense anything unreasonable about this. Nothing. It seems like a totally reasonable statement. Only kids eat fruit. That's right. I'll have really solid trades, but yeah, that's always the question of is the reason why you're having a bunch of solid trades is because of the position size is small. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people lose track, and it's easy to do. Man, I'm crushing it. I'm doing well when I'm at this position size, and then I go up, and it's like, what gives? What gives? I'm not doing anything different. The strategy is the same. And it's like, well, wait a second. It's not different, right? Your position size is different. So maybe the reason why things were going well was because of smaller position size. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we got to just, our job is to get a strategy, a system, whatever you want to call it, a method, concepts, whatever cool things you can use to call what I would just call a strategy. Maybe it's got to be smaller position size. And there's nothing wrong with that because smaller position size over time will still add up. I'll have to. Oh, okay. No, that's what I just read. Yeah, oil continues to grind higher. Well, keep waiting for a pullback here, but now it's like this seems to be some sort of maybe new low. We'll see if it continues to hold or not. And it just dawned on me. I've had for like the past week and a half, like subscribers only chat. I thought I turned it off, but yeah. So hopefully we'll maybe see some new, fresher faces. Or not. Or maybe just everybody will just stop talking. That too. I really cannot stand summer trading. Because summer trading, there's just not as many people around and the chat box suffers and it's tough. I'm looking forward to post Labor Day. Hopefully that starts to bring some activity back. I would hope you would be, Matt. The rate at which you speak and ask me questions, if you were not a subscriber, that'd be awkward. Who's Summer? I like Summer as a name. I only know Summer the season. Do not know any people. I do like Summer as a name though. So if anybody's here, you're having a kid and and everybody announces it's a girl, consider Summer. I think it's a very pretty name. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's Phase. Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, I think I know a Summer. That's right. That's Faye's middle name. It's Faye Summer. That's right. This guy doesn't know his kids' names. Well, I do. I just have to think about it, okay? Cut me some slack. I need a spreadsheet, okay? I don't know what the point is. Like, after 3 kids, I don't know. Some of you are probably like, dude, I have 1 kid and I'm not quite sure. And no judgments on my part. Listen, no judgments on my part. But surely, like, when you reach the point of 6. Like, at 6, I think spreadsheets are okay. I'm open to the idea that at 1 kid, spreadsheets are okay. You know, I'm open to that too. Parents, we need to be, you know, we need to exhibit a lot of grace towards one another, right? Because parenting, there's not real, I mean, yeah, there's books on it, but it's just kind of like, it is a very weird feeling. I still remember it very vividly. Your first kid, and then like when you're discharged and they just give you the kid and you're like, okay, yeah, what do I do with this thing? Well, you take it home. With who? Who's coming with me? No, you just take it home. Well, you're going to let me take this little human being home? Unsupervised? Yep. Oh, man. I don't care how many books you've read. That is an eerie feeling. Anybody that has had kids, I bet you can relate. I can't imagine anybody like leaving the hospital at full bore confidence when they're like, yeah, you take this little human home now. Gee, I still remember taking Joy home. Like, man, I went back to like 15-year-old driver's test, hands here, 2 hands on the wheel, check all my mirrors before backing out. And then Jet, we were just like, nah, we're just going to have him at home. So Jet was just a flat out home birth. So yeah, the law of diminishing return, like it gets less and less freaky the more you have. But yeah, man, from Joy to Jet, if you would have told us after Joy and that feeling, wait, you're going to let us take this thing home? If you'd ever told me, Clay, there's going to be a point where you're like, nah, screw the hospital. We're just having this at home. I'd have been like, you're crazy. But no, it's weird. $15? That's your borderline, Johnny? You need to have 15 kids before you think it's okay to have a spreadsheet? You're crazy, dude. You're crazy. 15, that's just a crazy, that's a crazy requirement. Naming my next kid Clay. Well, that's because you're just a smart person, Slow Morrow. I mean, now the kid, yeah, we're not quite there yet, BMR, but we're getting close. You thought that's how, no, not quite close to 15. Yeah, well, the reason we did the home birth, are you just going to talk about birth? Dude, there's nothing going on right now. I'm kind of looking at this as like as a channel, and we're right in the middle of the channel. And I'm not going to diddle in the middle, so calm down. Calm your sweet little heart to all you degenerates that think a trader's supposed to be trading every 4 seconds, okay? But yeah, our 5th... Okay, here we go. Hold that thought. All right, I'm going to just try to trade the range. I think this might be the bottom of some kind of range down here. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Taking my first kid. Yeah, it is. It is a surreal, it is a bizarre feeling. Very bizarre. Okay, let's see if I can fill. Again, if you were to pull up the 5-minute right now, you would see a whole lot of moving averages and quote-unquote stuff down here. Incoming sell side. Oh boy, here we go. Abhin shows up once every month. Makes his proclamations that maybe work out 50% of the time. When they do, we'll get the I told you so. When they don't, he'll just disappear and come back a month later. Do I got you summarized pretty good there, Abhin? Did I summarize your approach to this whole behavior on the internet thing? I think I got it pretty good there. I mean, let's be real. He can't be wrong anyways. Sell side incoming. He never told us when. He never defined, well, what does that actually look like? He's just saying stuff, but that's okay. Okay, I am long. Take that little scalpy scalp there. Very good. See? Now, he looks really stupid here, but in his defense, he could have said, no, I was right. Did you not see it go red? That was the incoming sell side I was referring to. Well, okay, I guess. But when people don't define their terms, they really can't be wrong. So, yeah. But just at face value, Abhin, that kind of looks dented right now. Incoming sell side, and then all of a sudden we're staring at like a little bit of red, and then it immediately goes green. But to be fair, he never gave us any sort of time frame. So who knows? Maybe it's 3 weeks. He comes back and he's like, see, I told you so. There's the incoming sell side. Oh. No, not like Bowser. Bowser clarified things. Okay, again, incoming sell side. This is not the action that I would envision in that case. But again, to be fair, he gave no time frames. So maybe, 10 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now, it does drift back down here and he'll, pop up with the I told you so. So. But those broad statements where you can't really be held accountable, tricky. But wow, that was very poor decision on my part to scalpy scalp that. Whoops. But there we go. There's a bunch of stuff. Here we go on the 5 minute. 200 SMA, 50 SMA, the VWAP, all kind previous lows. So yeah, all kinds of stuff down there. Yeah, that's right. The market maker. It's always the market makers. Dun dun dun. That's right. Exactly. Without manipulation, no market at all. It's all just, every little bit of it is just pure manipulation. Every shred of it. What is the definition of manipulation? Manipulation. Oh, okay. The act of manipulating something in a skillful manner. Okay, yeah, no. HC is not actually serious, by the way. HC is he's joking around. He's joking around. He's got the sarcasm font turned down. I should have held it for again. See, as always, admin. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. It's embarrassing, really. I wish he had a better teacher in life. I hate when they use the word in the definition. That is true. Yeah. It's okay, Abhin. Some people just, it's okay. It's okay. Your timing was impeccable, though. Sell side incoming. Whoop! The Darcy effect. It is a proven law of nature. Where you been, though, Abin? How come you show up like 3 times, once every 3 months? Let's do this though. I want to be fair. I have jumped to some conclusions that could be wrong. Abin, are you willing to say, hey chat, I got it wrong? Are you willing to say that? Can you say I got it wrong? Let's see. If yes, then I actually have a lot of respect for the guy. At least he can fess up like, all right, yeah, I got that wrong. No, nothing to the code. Can he at least confess that he's wrong? So I will again be interested in a long down here. I'll also be interested in a short up here because I was explaining, I don't know, what, 10 minutes ago? I'm thinking this is kind of the range right now. So right now we're kind of back to the middle. So just sitting on my hands for me, and we'll talk about some random things for now. Oh, so okay, back to the whole like kid thing. So first kid, Joy, number one, just totally like, what, you're gonna let me take her home from the hospital? Dang. Okay. Well, never mind. We'll got a table discussion again. Abin, hello. Are you gonna at least do you have the do you have good personality characteristics? Are you gonna be like, all right, I got that wrong, chat? Or are you just gonna confirm to being a total troll? What pathway are we gonna take here, brother? I'd rather talk about toilet paper, keeping the West wild. That sounds more interesting. Oh, now you're gonna just reject right off the orange line, huh? Anyways, so kid number five, we couldn't get to the hospital. So kid number five, me and my mother-in-law, we just delivered Kit in our bathroom, all on our own. I guess 911 was on the phone, speakerphone. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Paramedics had to. Okay, here's the stupidity of, I don't know if this is universal or if this was just Michigan. Pure and utter stupidity. They send two ambulances. Because to be fair, okay, there are two people involved. Yeah, that's true. But like, this is where society needs to learn to think in nuance. Yes, there is two people involved, but one of them was literally a newborn baby. So my wife was like, well, you're a crazy person if you think I'm going to get in that ambulance without my newborn baby. So they're like, okay, yeah, you can. But like, anyway, so they sent two, and then our insurance showed up, and having to pay for two ambulances being sent. And it's like, what are we doing here? Talk about just a real life example of how the ability to think in nuance could be a cost savings to taxpayers, right? Like, what are we doing? Like, a good example of how insurance costs. I know everybody likes to throw the insurance companies under the bus, but hey, we got to blame lack of thinking in nuance under the bus here a little bit too. Like, it was very clear, we're having a baby right now. Oh, okay, so let's send two, and we're just going to send the newborn off all alone in this ambulance to the hospital to reignite. What are we doing here, folks? Charles, yeah, exactly, Charles. But that was literally the experience. Sent two ambulances. Again, I understand. Oh, there's two people involved. Fair enough. But again, let's think slightly. I'm not thinking you have to be an Aristotle thinker. I'm not saying you have to be Socrates. But let's just think a little bit. Oh, one of these humans is a newborn baby. Yeah, we just need to send one ambulance, save the insurance company some money, save the taxpayer some money. But no, we're so, it's just like that. It's the things like that that just make me go, yeah, government is not. Yeah, and we did get two charges. I saw it show up. I'm like, that is so stupid. Like, again, we have insurance, but like, so how stupid was that? Nice. I don't know. The government is probably at a cash grab. Hey, who cares? Send it because we know the insurance companies will pay and we can make an little extra money. And then people complain about the insurance companies on why everything's so expensive. Well, crap, yeah, when the municipalities and governments are going to just. Anyways. Interesting price movement right now. Nothing that I can really do with it, hence me continuing to rant. Yeah, pretty much, Amarius. But anyway, so after that, we're like, oh, that it would have, because my wife was like, I didn't even want to go to the hospital. But like, they had to go for whatever. But so that's how number 6, we were just like, nope, we're doing an at home birth. So we just had a midwife here, and it was nice. In fact, I caught number 6, Jet. I caught, which for me was a huge deal because I'm pretty squeamish when it comes to, like, if you get a cut on your finger and it's like a little drop of blood, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But my one brother-in-law convinced me, dude, you'll be happy you did, and he was right. That was easily top 3 moment of my life. Did you catch your kid, Zach? I think fire department might have showed up too, Nero. Yeah, I just remember there being also. I guess I could look. I could find a picture. There are a lot of flashing cars, but yeah, I don't think a fire engine showed up. I don't think. Oh, you guys did the pool? Yeah, my wife, she didn't want it. She decided not to do the pool. She just went full blown like Indian mode. She's like, you know what? We're using physics. I just want gravity to help me out as much as possible. So she stood up and there it went. Gravity helped out quite a bit. Yeah, it's just the whole thing was like pretty ridiculous in hindsight. Oh, look at gold. Gold is just slowly cooking any shorts. That I can understand why people would be bearish, but yeah, they're just slow and steady. Yeah, maybe the paramedic truck. I don't remember all those details exactly. How did we get? I have no idea how we went down that rabbit hole. That's right. 2 plus 2, catch the kid. But yeah. So in all actuality, if you to you future fathers there, um, not this for you soon to be fathers. If you're allowed to catch your kid, even if you don't think you can, which was me, I'm telling you, your body, like the adrenaline, something takes over, and like you just get in the zone because obviously you don't want to drop the kid. So like it was, I don't know, but do it if you're allowed to catch your kid. It's a very cool experience. And then for us, because we never found out ahead of time, because we don't. I guess we're old. I guess these days, waiting until the kid pops out to figure out if they're a boy or girl is like at old school. But like we've always done that. So then the other cool thing was then I got to announce. I was the first one to see, is this a boy or girl? Okay, I guess I had to take that back. The person doing the ultrasound was probably the first to know. They just kept it to themselves. So I was like the second to know. But I was the first to announce it to the world. Yeah, he was kind of slippery. I did not cut the cord. To me, that would freak me out. Like the texture of. For me, I actually no. So who cut the cord was our daughters, because our 2 oldest daughters were there. We're like, we homeschool, but let's turn this into a real homeschool adventure here. And as far as we know, they're both still, they're not turned off to the idea of having kids. Because we had that conversation, we're like, are we about to scare them to never having kids? But no. This architect is driving me crazy saying it's not his job to do red lines from the county revisions. I mean, that sounds like that'd be the architect's job. From first reading, I realize all sides have stories. All parties have policies and stuff like that that are agreed to. But yeah, at first read, that does sound like something that he would to do. Well, Philly, I'll just have to take your word for it. I caught my one and only son. Cool, Rick. Yeah, yeah, it really is. Again, Dan, I believe you, but I also in the pursuit of always trying to be as objectively fair as possible. I don't know if it's totally his job because I've not seen their the fine print agreements. So I don't know. Maybe. Because as the saying goes, right? There's two sides to every story. And how does it go? There's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. Something like that. Again, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying the saying. Looks like a bearish rising wedge. Lisa, I'm nitpicking, but just so you know, a rising wedge is bearish, so you don't need to say a bearish rising wedge, right? Just like if you were to say a falling wedge is implied to be bullish. So just to save your fingers a little bit of typing. Bro, he has no thumbs, literally. Are you serious? He has no thumbs, and that's kind of impressive. It's not a dumb question. It's just not a question I can answer here. Because I can answer it by saying, well, I'm looking for entries where I feel I have an edge. Okay, well, why do you feel you have an edge? Well, and then it like turns into like a huge full blown like, oh, hey, yeah, what was that? All right, Iran news. That's Iran news right there, folks. Oil going up. Keep an eye out for the tweet. Either Trump already tweeted or there's going to be news that's showing up. Wow, that just cooked some people. Roll down your windows. That smell is the smell of Long's accounts. Wow. Gone. Neil, you were short on that. So, Neil, I mean, you cracked walnuts just because, yeah, you probably, yeah. I was in short. Hoover cracked some, like if you were in that trade, long or short, you cracked walnuts. Yeah, it did happen yesterday too. Yep, I remember that one. Big old hammer candle. All right, keep your eye out. What is the news? Oil is spiking right now. So this was some sort of Iran stuff. You were short. Good job, HC. I was in that trade short. No! Right before Mark? That's dirty. I can't believe you did that at my little Marky. That's crazy. Mark's a nice guy. A total dirtbag, but a nice guy. Was anybody here actually long? Yeah, that was a barbecue of bull meat for sure. How big was that move down from, let's call it 90? Really? It was, yeah. Things are so just like slow. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was a big move, but like that was still basically a 50-point move. Think about a month ago. Like this candle here would have been like a 200-point move. Today, 50 points. Yeah, I was considering a long. I was considering a long. Putin said Ukraine war is going to escalate. Oh, really? I'm not sure why per se that would be affecting oil up. I guess I don't know. Well, let's not that I don't believe you, Johnny, but let's confirm. Let's confirm with some other sources here. There should be some sort of tweet or some sort of news out by now. If that was not a Trump tweet right at that moment, there should be something out now. Okay, so it has to do with Putin and Ukraine. Okay. Putin said the war is going to escalate. Gotcha. Hey, what's up, JB? Good job again last night, man. Crushed it. I'm going to go for a long down here. Okay, looking for a long at the green line. Everything turned out wrong. What are you talking about, dude? Yeah, I guess it could have turned out wrong if you're like, I want 80 points. But everything came, I'm pretty sure everything at least moved 30, 40 points in people's favor. But yeah, I do concede, Krios. If you're sitting there like, I want 100 points, you're bust, well then yeah, technically under that definition, none of the alerts worked out. But I mean, yeah. If you're like somebody that's happy with 20, 30 points in a few minutes, then yeah, things worked out pretty nice. Let me put it this way. If you're not happy with 20, 30 points in a couple minutes, I don't know. I don't know. That sounds kind of greedy. Okay, maybe along here. And yeah, I put question marks because there are no guarantees. Like, okay. Oh my, all right. Yes. To do something like this, whoops. For example, to do something like this, like that, there's like an implication that if it goes, like it's going to break down. I don't know if it's going to break down. Hence why I do this. I'm thinking it might break down, but I don't know. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Look at that bounce right off there. So, I mean, I really don't appreciate you. I mean, you're not lying per se. I have no problem accepting the fact that from your angle, from your requirements, if you demand 50, 60 points, then yeah, I guess they didn't work out. But like, it's not even scalping. Good grief. These moves went 30, 40 points. Like right here. Here's one. I guess I'll just bring it over. Okay. So this was made at 9:33. MNQ pointed out this big move. We had this pivot point. Would it do this? Hence the question mark, right? Because I don't know if it's going to do that. Nobody knows that. There are no guarantees. And then let's see how it went. Came down, hit there at 40, went to a high of, let's just call it 75. So right here, these are 2-minute candles. Within, I don't know, let's just call it 2 minutes, it went 35 points. Right there. What do you mean it didn't work? Again, if you're like, well, I wanted it to go 100 points. Okay, fine. From that angle, it didn't work. But like, don't tell me that there was not money to be made here. Stormy, is it? So, I mean, is English not your first language? Thank you, by the way. That's actually, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, yeah. Are you the guy that was like, who effing cares? Was that you? Or I might have you confused. Full blown, Stormy, I might have you confused. But I could have, in my mind, you're the guy that I was talking about something, like, who effing cares? Yeah. I wasn't trying to be confrontational in my statement. Really, brother? Again, to be fair to you, maybe English is not your first language, and we've had that a lot, right? People from around the world are here. But like, in that situation, I assure you, when you're like, who effing cares, that can come across as confrontational, just so you know. And I mean, I guess that could be mistaken vernacular. Again, I'll concede that because I do understand maybe English is not your first language. But yes, just so you know, that is that's some pretty strong vernacular when somebody's talking about something and then you type who effing cares. So Chris Moses, I like that. I doubted that you have earned this amount today. It remains to be proven with a live video. Dude, I live trade. What are we talking about? Like, I'm not, like, to act like I've never made money on a live stream is kind of crazy. Like, do I always make money? No. Do I always make a lot of money? I mean, I guess that depends on how you define a lot of money, but like, what are we talking about here? Even right here, this one right here, this one worked too. Now, again, this was based on the 5 minute, and I pointed out, is the 21 EMA going to reject it? And looking back at it, you can't see that it worked out, but there was a moment where it did reject, and it came down plenty, where a gold trader had plenty of opportunity to make good quality money, especially on GC, which adds up quick. Now, if you're sitting there like, no, I want this thing to full-blown roll over and create a new lows, and yeah, it didn't work in that regard. But man, so again, like I said, there's always two sides to every story. So this person is probably, that's why you got to be very careful, folks, because I can see this person going out there and proclaiming his alerts are garbage, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, if you demand 100-point moves every trade, I guess my alerts are garbage because I can't say that many of my alerts produce 100-point moves. But like, is it my alerts that are garbage or is it your requirements that are garbage? You know, I think that's a fair talking point as we continue to bleed. Bro, the day I'm not trading, all this is happening. Well, I mean, that might be for the better. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh man, I just missed all these great moves. And I just assume that I would have played these great moves properly. For all you know, Emrod, maybe this was a blessing that you didn't trade today. Maybe you would have cooked 7 accounts. To be fair, maybe you would have crushed it. I don't know, but I mean, you can't just assume that you'd be playing all this great movement like well. You know what I mean? I think we all do that though. Man, see, that's the stuff that irritates me. Like, truly, he shows up, he makes these accusations. I guess he's left, and then it's just like, well, let me put it this way: I'm glad I could share my side of the story on that one. There was, I guess, Ukraine, Russia news. I thought for sure it was Iran, which just illustrates why there are no for sures. Shame on me for using such a term. Per my strategy today has offered. See, I mean, that's not a newbie. Like, that's a breadcrumb of an experienced person right there. Laid back Larry. Per my strategy today has offered nice opportunities. Man, that is a breadcrumb of somebody that knows what's going on. Just ignore them. Well, I can't ignore them, Mr. Davis, when they're like literally lying or they're misrepresenting something, especially when it's one of my services. Like, no, I'm not going to ignore that, Mr. Davis, with all due respect. Like, somebody tells you have I don't know, like a dogfighting ring. Like, you offer a dogfighting thing. Like, hey, just ignore them. No, I would assume be like, wait, what? Considering the website, is it findable with a findable? What do you mean findable? You mean can you use a credit card to pay for it? Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure what you mean by findable. All right, JB. Good job locking in that 50% off. Okay, I've got a short right here on the back test. We'll see if it wants to do one of these maneuvers or not. That's what I'm thinking. And yes, I'm going to put the question mark because I don't know. And all your alerts have question marks next to them. What do you mean you can't guarantee? You're well, no. Well, you're else like you probably never. Oh my! I like breadcrumbs, folks. Hey, Spartacus. Do you see why the hospitality industry is like a true art form? Like it takes unique individuals to be in the hospitality. Because I'm telling you what, like, there we go. We just had a real life played out in front of our eyes customer service experience that is just like, goodness. Which is why I also reject, well, the customer's always right. No, they're definitely not always right. No, nope. Yeah, I mean, like, we literally just witnessed thing. Like I said, this should not be controversial. Him complaining about me using question marks in my alerts. Well, yeah, because I don't know. Nobody knows because there are no guarantees, right? So, but I guess he thinks like he's not aware that there are no guarantees, and I'm supposed to just be able to tell him what will happen. You know what I mean? It's just like little stuff like that. I'm sorry, the customer is verifiably wrong in that regard. Like they're not always right. No. Well, Clay, it's a general. Yes, I'm aware. I get it. Well, you want to be hospitable to the customer, you want to accommodate them, and I do understand the general essence of it, but it's hard at times. It's hard at times. I guess so. I guess me just giving my thoughts of it with a question mark to let everybody know. This is the problem with the internet and social media as a whole. You know, if you like, knowing is like presented as a strength, which I understand that, but like that's just all deception. Anybody that proclaims to know something is lying. They're lying. Yeah, I mean, apparently, I was MVP of the webinar. You were. That's okay though. The market likes to. It's good. It's good, JB. You'll be all right. Just make sure you're always learning. Fun and free stuff. Yeah, like I said, I understand the essence of what it's trying to get across. But like at face value, it's like, no, that's definitely at face value. No. As this customer just tried to tell me, what you offer is garbage because you're not giving me guarantees. That's a reformation of it. What is this question mark, Clay stuff? What is this question mark, Clay? As if you actually don't know for sure guaranteed. What did I sign up for? I signed up for guarantees, brother. Yeah, humble pie is best served in a prop account. Let me put it that way. Humble pie with your own money and losing thousands of dollars when you could have gotten the same humble pie for just a couple hundred at most for blowing an account. I'll take the $100 humble pie as opposed to the $1,000 humble pie. I've traded Asia session before, but rarely. I'll check in at every, like, especially if there's a lot of drama going on after the kids are put into bed. I'll maybe sit down and take a look at it. But like, yeah, the drama has kind of been lackluster the past month now, so I haven't. Heck, there have been a couple days. The stream ended. I left, went to go to the property, and then when I came back and move my mouse and my screens come back awake was the next morning. That's pretty rare. Usually I check at least sometime after the live stream's over, but like, yeah. I've just had zero desire to even check on things because there just hasn't been a whole lot of drama. Okay, if this comes back up here, I will try a short. Yeah, some people like Asia. My kids are growing, moved out, so Asia session is easier for me. Well, Asia is only 8 p.m. Eastern, so like it's not. In all actuality, it kind of works out nice for me because it's just getting started, or soon is getting started after the kids are in bed. So in all actuality, it lines up pretty good with me. I always keep the chart open. Always as in what? Like around the clock? Matt, are you going to also give me that there's no theta? Like, that's the obvious thing. The thing that just blows my mind that people like you don't, like, I don't know. Like, your choice to continue to deal with. So you can at least give me also, hey, Clay, I'll give you this. At least futures don't have theta. Will you give me that one too? Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me two things. And yet you choose to continue to operate with it. Mind-blowing. Which is why why you're either a troll, a bot, or you're just not bright. You know, I don't know which one it is. There is this thing that sucks. I could get rid of this thing that sucks, but no, I'm gonna keep going with the thing that sucks. Okay. Okay. You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is back that way. Who cares about what you usually trade? Again, maybe I am stupid. But in my feeble mind, I say, what are the markets out there that move very smoothly, that have lots of volume, that have great movement? What are those markets? If that happened to be, I don't know, a baseball card market, I'm going to go trade that baseball card market. I'm not going to say, well, I usually don't trade baseball cards. No, I don't care what the thing is. I care about the description. A lot of volume, smooth movement, big movement. That's what I actually care about. If that's baseball cards or an indice or an individual stock or, peanut butter, I don't care. So what does indices have to do with anything? Hey, what's up, Caribou? Ace Ventura, incorrect. That would be Dumb and Dumber. Who's writing this to high a day? Huh? But then again, Homer. What is it, Homer? What? Or I'm pretty sure you're Homer. Is the lowest you go is 15 minute? Clay is right. I mean, it's just like my loyalty as a day trader. Again, I'm stupid, so I don't know if this makes any sense. But my loyalty to a day trader are to markets that have good, solid volume, good quality movement. And part of good quality movement is smooth movement, right? I don't want to get stuck in like a penny stock where it takes forever. But you know what? If penny stocks all of a sudden had massive volume, massive liquidity, great movements, smooth movements, all that sort of stuff, I would be like, okay, I'm very open to that all of a sudden. I don't care what the thing is. I care about the details surrounding the thing. Oh, okay. Well, Jim Carrey was Ace Ventura, so I could have seen that being plausible. So, Matt, why are you getting bogged down in indices versus individual stocks? Why are you not chasing market? Well, especially why are you not chasing a market that doesn't have theta? Like, for an options trader, that seems like a good starting point. Is there a market out there where I don't have to worry about theta? Do you see why, Matt? Why I think you're kind of trolling? Like, there's no way you can actually be serious with all this. Because this does not require a lot of brain power. Because gambling mindset. So you're a degenerate gambler? Is that what you're saying? But that's the thing, Dean, that you are literally incorrect. Day trading futures through a prop firm, you are assuming less risk for more profit. I understand that sounds scammy, but that's just how the math works. So yeah, Dean, incorrect. Like Meta today, the crazy movement paid big. Yeah, not as big as day trading futures through a prop firm, it didn't. Can you turn 1K into 100K on prop firms in one day? Yeah, you can. Again, if I presuppose you're copy trading, Meta went 5. Yeah, that's nothing. You're proving my point. Because you're picking something where there's a massive move. I can pick something also where your risk is 1,000. You load up on NQ, 5 accounts, copy trade, and then you nail some like 300-point mover. I assure you those numbers are going to be way bigger than that. Yes, if I pick an example that is a banger in the world of futures, and then if the thing is banger status, well then let's do copy trading. Okay, Matt's is going away. The dude just does not listen. Where did I say that there's not room for both? I never said that. Do I just ban him at this point? He really is obnoxious. I will put him in timeout. I mean, he's using lottery logic anyways. Well, Clay, if you were in this, as if Meta moves 5,000% every day. Right. If you have a system that works and then you can use that same system without theta, Dean, the system is going to become that much more efficient. That's the point. That's the point. Again, congratulations. Super impressive. If you can figure out a system that works, having to deal with theta, imagine how much more efficient that system will be without theta involved. That's the point, Dean. Again, if you use charts and your system works, with options using charts, well, charts are just charts. Technical analysis is just technical analysis. Bull flags are just bull flags. Stocks have bull flags. Futures have bull flags. Forex has bull flags. Well, then just take that system and now put it in an environment where there is no theta. Like some people just, I don't know. Police it depends. It depends on the day. Depends on if I'm doing a scalpy scalp or, another type of strategy. If you have good risk management and it works without blowing yourself up. Again, a lot of you are missing the argument. I'm not arguing you can't make money day trading options. I'm arguing it's inefficient because of theta. Again, police, it varies. I don't know. I don't always do those strict R versus R trades. There are multiple strategies. I know some people act like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but you have one strategy, those are the rules, and that's what you do. Therefore, the RR is always the same. That's, again, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but like there's many different approaches that I'm using. Again, Matt's is just this is why he never seems to be genuine. But again, if you're going to use lottery logic to prove a point, you're kind of struggling, right? What's lottery logic? If I say playing the lottery is stupid and you're like, oh yeah, we'll tell that to the winners. It's like, okay, that's true. In those outlier situations, in those rare situations, sure, I guess playing the lottery is smart. Well, such and such option just went up 8 million% today. Okay, yeah, I guess in that situation, maybe day trading options is better than, but it's just like, you know what I mean? So you know that somebody is just starting to do mental gymnastics when they have to pull out lottery logic to try to defeat what you're saying. What is my Twitter handle? I don't know. I think it's ClayTrader25. Let's see. ClayTrader25. I'll just take it in here. Real Twitter. There we go. Yeah, exactly, Rim. That's the other thing. IV. To be fair, IV can bail you out at times. But yeah, to your point, yeah, sometimes it gets goofy. I don't speak much on chats, but good to see you, Clay. Well, I'm not sure who you are, Rox, but it sounds like we have maybe some history. So good to see you again, even though I'm not quite sure who you are. But I appreciate you speaking up. Appreciate you being here. Well, let's just do this. Let's just, his question was, well, can you take $1,000 and turn into $100,000? Because you can do that in options. First off, that's lottery logic, anyways. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's run a little experiment because nothing's really going on right now. So, and again, he's using lottery logic, so I'm going to use lottery logic. I'm going to do something that, is rare. Okay. So we could go get 5 take profit trader accounts for 216 times 5. Okay, hopefully he'll be okay. 1,080. So you need 1,080. You can get 5 accounts. Per account, you could go up to 15 NQs. And let's just say you nail a 100-point move, which is actually not that great. But let's just say a 100-point move with lottery logic. But you load it up with 15 NQs. Well, 1 point equals $20. So 1 point, so we have 100 points, 100 points. Each one represents $20 per contract. You have times 15 contracts. That's $30,000 in one account. But you have 5 accounts and you copy trade them. So let's multiply this by 5 times 5. So there's $150,000. Your risk is 1,080 and you just made $150,000. So yes, my point stands. For less risk, you make more money, which blows Dean's point out of the, well, with less risk or with more or with less, whatever he said. I don't remember what he said, but it just proved wrong right there. Well, Clay, who's ever going to load? Again, I admit I was using lottery logic to an extent of the 15 NQ, but I also only did 100-point moves. And if you want to call like a really big mover in futures, you'd want to do at least what? 200-point, 300-point move. So like, what are we doing here? Just, And once again, those numbers are better. And that's you would think that the market, in order to get those sort of results, would require something like theta. Like, okay, these numbers are crazy, but you have this thing about theta you have to worry about. But no, theta is in the thing that actually produced less results anyways. Okay, that's fair. So then, yeah, that's true. You'd only get to keep 80%, 120,000. Still beats it. Still beats it. Right, keeping the West wild, but you're in a whole separate category right now. You just described like a swing trade / investing category. Again, everybody remember, I say day trading very specifically because day trading places us in a certain category. If I said investing, I'd be like, hey, options can be pretty cool. Covered calls, cash secured puts, stuff like that. Investing, though, that's the category of investing. When I say day trading, I say that very specifically. I throw us in the category of day trading. Hey, what's up, Indica? You can get poked. You're selling options naked, you can get poked. I mean, this is a bear pennant. Maybe someone call it a bear flag. I'm not going to get in a fist fight over that's a bear pennant, but there we go. Which way is it going to go? Do we get the break to the downside? Again, got to throw the question mark because I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do that. That's just what I'm thinking. Investing is a long-term thing, in my own opinion. I don't know if that's even an opinion. Isn't that like a fact? I guess I don't know what is the official definition of investing, but investing doesn't seem like investing definition. Let's just see. Expend money with the expectation of achieving profit or no use by putting it in do developing. Okay, so to be fair, you could, I suppose, invest in like a 1 minute time frame because it is not, that definition says nothing about a time frame. Okay, yeah. Per BlackRock, investing is the act of putting your money into something with the hopes that it will grow over time. Okay, so to be fair, I suppose investing could be used to classify day trading. You're just you're putting your money into something with the hope that it grows in the next 3 seconds. So I guess to be fair, but I think broadly speaking though, investing does have more like a broader term connotation. But to be fair, strictly speaking with definitions, okay, I guess technically speaking, I am also investing. I'm just hoping my money grows in 3 seconds. No, I think that's a connotation. Trading is more so, over a shorter period of time. But again, to be fair, strictly with the definition, I just looked up. I guess technically speaking, I am investing. I'm just hoping my money grows in, like I said, 5 seconds when I'm scalping. So yeah, we're kind of just hanging out, trying to see what this bear pennant wants to do. Could see myself interested in a short up round here because in my mind, I'm kind of defining this as the top of the bear pennant. And if you want to call it a bear flag, that's fine too. I like drinking and hanging out. Okay, as long as it doesn't say I like drinking and trading, then I guess that's fine then, Indica. Whoops. Sometimes a little buzz helps you get courage to take the trades you hesitate on. Fair enough, but it seems like you've now opened up a can of worms of risk where the little buzz becomes a big buzz, and then, yeah. Do I try a short here? If it comes down, do I try to anticipate maybe a move down here? If it gets rejected here, I think I'm going to give it yeah, I'm going to give it a swing. I'm going to give it a swing. If it wants to come down here, maybe I can try to anticipate it revisiting this line. And if it can break, that would just be the cherry on top. The fizz in the cola. The jelly on the peanut butter. The beef in the jerky. The lemon in the lemonade. The duck soul in the duck soul. Could lead to an empty bank account and a trip to the hospital. I mean, yeah, it could. To be fair, if you can keep it moderated and it gives you that steady buzz, I don't know, maybe it leads you to a private island. I mean, the private island may have bars on it, like rooms with bars. May go, I don't like Alcatraz, but I guess to be fair, maybe it leads you to like your own private island. All right, CDP. Well, hey, if you follow the rules and you got break even, then so be it. Have you seen Couple Bear? I have not. What is that, a movie or something? First time 20 and E has been respected. No. Right there, it was respected very nicely, actually. Boop. All right, Neil. Good job, brother. Oh, it's an SNL skit? I don't know. Maybe I've seen it then. Or a private room with a 20-hour. Yeah, exactly. A room with like pads on the walls and stuff. Oh no, then I've not seen it. I've not seen it. I've lost track of like the up to date. I think the only up to date SNL skit I know is the one about, talk about America someday, and we will have animals that as soon as they're killed and turned to meat, we'll call them something different. We'll call them something different. Pigs will be known as pork. Cows will be known as beef. And what about chickens, sir? We're still going to call those chickens. Those are classics. Yeah, Caribou, still got to be careful, though. It sounds like your propensity to go on tilt is way less. But, the market's a weird place. The market has a very weird talent of still cracking through at times. Beef's cut. Okay, no. Indica. No, I'm talking about an SNL skit. Yeah, if you have not seen those skits, Nate, I can't remember the guy's name exactly, but really, really clever. Well, looking like this is more so the area. Like I said, I was focused on up around here, kind of the top of what I thought was the bear pennant. But as of now, Bar Gates. Okay, Nate Bar Gotzi. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not even gonna. Well, yeah. When you get some time though, check out the skit. It's well done. This thing is dead. Yeah, it's kind of clamming up here a little bit now. Oil is something else though. Look at that chart. Just about as beautiful as an uptrend as you can get. Is that the name of it? Washington's Dream skit? Okay. Yeah, so YouTube Washington's Dream skit, and you can see it. New SNL has become okay. Yeah, I can't weigh in either way on that one. Like I said, I think the only reason I know about the Washington one is because it did so well. It just kind of went viral, I guess, in a sense. And I know there's two of them too. Funny stuff though. Funny stuff. I like the amendment skit. I don't think I saw that one. I'll stick around to 10. Neil? I swear, some people, I swear, they're here to drive me nuts. The amount of times I know Neil has heard me. Neil is going to turn me into a turd. Okay, maybe I'm already a turd because of Neil. But the number of times I know Neil has said, "Hey, for sake of efficiency and clarity of conversation, if everybody could just talk in Eastern time zone, that would be appreciated." And then he goes and he talks in West Coast time. I swear. Yeah, turd me, man. Dude's turning me into a turd. Okay, here we go. We're at the bottom. All right. Do I try to play a bounce off this trend line? I'm thinking about it. I don't know. That's like a digress. That's not progress. That's like going backwards. Like that's such just a basic. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, speaking of turds, I have to. This is a hilarious story. Like, just talk about like my wife having a boy mom moment that I got to witness from just off on the couch. So right now it is, I think probably around the country, but at least here in Iowa, it is sweet corn season. So the cool thing is farmers, which is I love small town America. I love that this can still be a thing, but farmers will pick sweet corn and they'll have like stands. And it's just honor system. They'll have like a box for cash or or like a Venmo thing. And it's totally honor system. But anyways, that was a side note of why I just love small town America and why I'm glad that there are still certain places in this country where you can operate business that way, where you can just say, here's the product, here are the prices, either put cash here or Venmo me, but yeah, that's on you. So anyways, sweet corn season. So we've had sweet corn past couple of days. And if you've ever eaten corn, you know that it doesn't totally digest, if you get what I'm saying. So a couple days ago, I'm out, I'm in the living room and my, son Trip comes and he's like, yeah, mom, I looked at my poop and it had corn. It had like pieces of corn in it. And my wife's like, well, okay, well, yep, that's, so those are the pieces you didn't chew up, huh? Yeah, I guess. I kind of want to take one out and eat it. And my mom, or not my mom, his mom, my wife, Trip, that's absolutely disgusting. And his reply, well, I would have washed it first. And my wife, Trip is already contaminated. And then you could see at that moment the light bulb went off. And it's like, in her mind, it was like, why am I having this discussion? Why am I having this discussion right now? So, well, I would wash it first. Trip, it's already contaminated. Trip, stop talking about this. And then that was the end of that. But I was just like, boy, mom moment right there. I'll give her credit. She realized pretty early on in the conversation that the stop loss needed to be hit. And it's like, this is like, why are we debating this? Just no, stop. So there we go. He offered to at least wash them first before he ate them. That was his solution. But man, it made me proud as a father. It's like, that a boy, Trip. That a boy. You're thinking very resourcefully here. That's what coffee people do with the berries. All right. Where have you been, Zokru? You just disappeared for weeks on end. You just show up out of nowhere. We got a lady that makes fresh baked goods with the honor system. I love it. Is it really a thing in some cultures? Okay, I'm gonna need some verification on that. Okay, yeah, I'm open kind of sort of to an animal, but like another like a human, I don't know. I don't know. It was funny to listen to though. You could just see the light bulb go on in my wife's mind where she's just like, no, this conversation is just, what are we doing? It depends, Maddie. I base them on all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. But no, I am not mechanical to the point where it's just like, I only do stuff at the Newark Open or I only do stuff at the Mongolian barbecue pivot point. I try to just kind of take the market as it develops. The market, the chart is an ever developing story, right? Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like really, really, really mechanical systems, but that's not me. As a homeschooled individual, the conversation should be carried to its conclusion. Fair point, but in my wife's defense, when you have 5 other kids to worry about and you're trying to get prepped for the next day, and Trip should have been in bed like 10 minutes ago. Anybody else have that where your kids, like, they become like very good lawyers when it's bedtime, like with their reasoning? Oh, I forgot this. Oh, what about this? Hey, Dad, have you ever thought about? And then they throw some like deep philosophical question at you when so like there was other things that work where like it just needed to end for a variety of reasons. How do you deal with missing entry to then? I don't know. You just laugh about it, I guess. Call the price a name. I have a little bit easier. Like my wife, she's just like, she's a mom, right? I'm just more. I'm done. Go to bed. So I stole this from my one brother-in-law. He calls it stall ball. Like he's like, oh yeah, my son, he's pretty good at stall ball. So I'm like, listen, I know you're trying to play stall ball with me. I know what you're doing. It's not going to work. Go to bed. I'm just more like that. I am. I'm kind of ruthless, but in a good way, like in a justified way. Yeah, I'll have to encourage her to have that conversation again at a better time. I was looking for a short on the back test, but I would not have been filled anyways because you can see right there it got very close to back testing the trend line, but never hit it. So I was watching it, but yeah. And you know, an honest hindsight analysis, I would never have been filled anyway, so I guess that helps a little bit. I will try again though. If this wants to come back up here, I will try another back test for a short up around that yellow line. Longs right now though, yeah, it kind of seems. Well, I guess we have this low right there. Oh, Duck Soul. All right, I'll keep an eye on this for a potential long right there if it comes down there. All right, there. So here are my levels that I'm currently interested in. Short up around this yellow line, potential long down around that yellow line. Let's see what happens. All right, well, we're just kind of hanging out. And I got to turn the fan on. Hopefully I'm getting hot and sweaty over here. I'm getting all worked up. All right. What are people doing this evening? Anything good going on? Anybody do anything exciting this evening? Well, I guess really today. It doesn't necessarily have to be this evening. It means guide me in Mongolian. It's from a video game. So when I say it, I'm saying it to the chart, like, hey, chart, guide me in these decisions. Playing darts, cool. Get my hair cut. Thank you, Charky. All right, maybe a short here. It's 98 here right now. Wait, you're in Florida? Well, I'm in. Crap, I turned my head for a second. I was in. Come on, come down. Come on down. Come on. You're not going to let me out? I really don't like how it's hesitating so much. Try to get out for a small little gain, but all right, maybe we'll try it again here. Maybe this is going to be the move. Maybe it's, come on, come down, brother. There we go. All right, let's do this. I'm going to let it cook. There we go. I'll just follow it down with all 5. Keep coming down. Dump. Straight down now. Let's go. I know you can do it. You're one of these markets where it can just go straight red. Come on. Don't stop me out. My risk is off the table, though, so we're good. We're good. Keep dumping. Keep dumping. Come on. Another push down, and I'll move my stop down again. Come on down, brother. Okay, move it down a little bit more. Keep dumping it, brother. Just moving my stop down as it goes. Dump it, brother. Doxo. Keep dumping it, brother. Do it. Do it. All right, stopped out there. I'll take it.
Clay, I'm not convinced any of these trades are.
What did that one guy say? Just ridiculousness. Who are these people? I'm not convinced of any of these gains until I see him on live video as he talks on a live stream. Who are these people? Who are they? Where do they come from? Do I try again for another back test? I think so, brothers. I think so. Can get a nice tight stop there. Let's see. Oh, Neil, the classic, most common liar of day traders. I'm done for the day. And then it sounds like Neil just made another trade. That's why, as a trader, never say publicly, I'm done for the day, because you have like a 97% chance that you're lying. Oh, you're talking about me. Made more in 40. Okay, that's okay. Okay. I guess to be fair, you didn't say anything. You just made the observation. Okay. Regardless, my point stands. If that's like the running joke in trading, right? If anybody ever says like I'm done, just be like, all right, let me know how your next trade goes in the next 5 minutes. Oh yeah, thank you. There is an auction today. Yeah, so we're once again. I care about the bond auctions again because of all the talk of the debt and all this bailout stuff. So yeah, I think that at 1 p.m. or like between 1 to 1:02 ish, we could see some. I will not be in the market. I'll put it that way because I think it could get a little bit jiggy. Dean and Neil. No, Neil is just Neil. Other people like they're doing mental gymnastics that don't make any sense, and I mean that in a very literal sense because that's what I like about math. Math is logic, right? Logic is just organized thoughts. So when like you're disagreeing and going against some math, I can literally say like what you're doing does not make any sense. But that's not Neil, and he's not trying to do mental gymnastics around things that literally don't make sense. So no, he doesn't drive me nuts in that way. But Matt's from earlier. That's why he'd get. I sent him on the 24-hour vacation. Just needed, yeah. Not that because he was disagreeing with me per se, but if you're not going to even listen to what I'm saying, then that's a point where it's just like, okay, we'll just part ways for now. But if you can repeat my argument back to me and then disagree with it, I have no problem with that. In fact, that's great. Because repeating my argument back to me tells me that you were listening and that you understand it. But then when people just start saying stuff that's like, what are you talking about? That's what? Then it's like, all right, this has happened for the 18th time. We'll send you on vacation for the day. Yeah, exactly, MJ. Right. I'm calling it here, done for the day. The proper response to that in the world of trading is just be like, yeah, let me know how that next trade Let me know how the next trade goes in the next 5 minutes. Exactly. Now to say I'm calling it here, technically you give yourself some leeway because I'm calling it here. Well, here being defined as like this current 5 minute chunk of time, right? So here is kind of open-ended. But if you're like, I'm done for the day, then that's where it's like, okay, you just defined your terms. So yeah, I'm calling it here is probably like a subconscious way to like make sure you're not a liar. Right, I'm buying soon. Like that's a very open-ended statement. Oh, I did not know that Nvidia has earnings today. Thank you for letting me know that. I had no idea. In fact, what is Nvidia anyways? I don't think I've ever heard those 4 letters before. Yeah, done for the day. You've locked yourself in. Like if you take another trade at that point, you are you are officially a liar. Are you serious, Clark? Okay, I'm going to try again. Now we have the 21 EMA and the back test point. Yeah, it's the company with Wong. Oh, yeah, with what was his name? Leon Wong or something like that? I'm buying soon. Yeah, thank you, Post. That makes sense. That is definitely the approach many people take. Oh, no wonder why they're so successful. That makes sense, total dork. Again, looking for a short at the red line. Stop is the green line. Essentially, playing kind of the new little bear pennant here, if you will. We're trying to play it. I will give okay, never mind. Oh, I'm in. Ooh, that was very jumpy. That was quite jumpy. All right, looking like this is actually a legitimate move. We'll see, though. Still got a little bit of a chin. Looking good. And I am stopped. All right. Well, no rejection on that one. Took me a week to get used to this big range. And now I'm kind of killing it. That's funny, you would call this a big range. I think many people here are like, when is the price going to start moving again? I'm not saying for you and your strategy it's not a big range. I just think that's a good example of goodness. I'm going to try another short up there. Like, is oil dropping right now? Is this maybe some like mediocre type? Yeah, oil's pulling back right now. Oil is approaching the 21 EMA in the 5-minute though. Holy smoke. Yeah, no. Okay. That was a little intense for me. That was a little too intense. I'm just gonna, something's going on. Something's going on. Do you guys see how jumpy that was? It filled me and then boom. Boom, boom. Maybe I'll be okay. That just, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was about to explode upwards or not. So I thought I'll just take, what's the saying? 14 birds in your hand is better than 18, snakes in the tree. Something like that. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's going to be bond soon. Thank you. Thank you, DH. That's right, Greg. Okay. Yeah, I'm out until probably at least 103. Again, there's actually a bond auction. Usually the market, like bond auctions, are nothing burgers. But if you've been tracking the news, there's been a lot of talk about the bond market and the government wanting to step in and all this sort of stuff. So I'm thinking bonds are going to start to matter again. Now, this is only the 5-year bond, so maybe it's not going to be... Like, I think the market would probably care more so about the 10 and 30 year. But I don't know. But either way, I can see the price getting very, very jumpy here in the next couple minutes. Or, I don't know, maybe it'll be a nothing burger and the market doesn't still necessarily care about the bonds, but we're about to find out here. Again, 1 o'clock, from my understanding, is when the auction starts. So that's why I think sometimes nothing happens till like 102, because it's all electronic. But auction starts at 1, and then results are released at like 102. I think that's how it works. Because usually nothing happens right away at 1 o'clock. It's like 102, 103. But let's see. We're going to put it to the test right now. Okay, it is 1. So, okay, nothing crazy yet. But over the next couple minutes, let's see if we can get any spiky spikes. No, not a burger, a nothing burger. So there should be nothing in that image because it's a nothing burger. There is, yeah. Now you would think that there's some bullishness to come. It's like almost like somebody had some inside information and they know the bond auction is going to turn out well, so that they were kind of prepping themselves. But I am just totally speculating right now. So if I had to guess and there was going to be a reaction, I would guess up. Because these people knew something. Who these people are, no idea. It's 101, so I don't know if this would still necessarily be the move. I'm thinking at like 102. 102, so less than a minute is where, if my rough theory holds up, we might get some. That's true. That might be two buns with no meat between them. Okay, maybe. My account is 65 away from my buffer being built up. What are you? Are you on a pro account right now, TA? It is a oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a oh good grief. All right, I don't even know what to do with that. Okay, and is that the only account you have? Okay, so yeah, you're not doing anywhere close to the racehorse model. In fact, you are like literally violating everything we talk about here. I hope you don't bro it. I hope you don't blow it because yeah, you're gonna have that temptation to reset the thing. Hopefully you don't fall for the temptation. But yeah, you are 100% not doing the racehorse model, not even close. In fact, you're just not doing it at all. 102. Okay, as of now, sort of seems like nothing burger news. So now I'm not going to say that therefore this means the market does not care about bonds because you have that extra layer. Well, this was one of the 5-year bonds. So yeah, for some reason maybe the market doesn't care too much about the 5-year bond. Yeah, again, so yeah, you're not doing the racehorse model. So I hope you don't fall into the trap that could be coming your way of just getting irritated and then resetting the pro account and paying vastly more money than you actually needed to. Yeah, Emrod, I heard it's not pretty. Uh oh, and Indica is not happy. Uh oh. Are you not happy because your booze ran out, or is there a different reason? Because I know you said you were just hanging out and drinking, so I'm assuming you're not happy because the what? The Bush Light just disappeared. The Coors Light. The what? The Natty Light. Tailored to me, but I've done what you said already. I learned my lesson. Uh huh. Tailored to me. Let me just translate that. I just wanted to get to money making. I just wanted to get to payouts. There you go. I translated for you. Tailored for me. Yes, yes. I don't feel like waiting and doing it. I just let me just get to the see if I can get those payouts. Uh huh. I want to buy. You want to buy what? Is Natty Light even around anymore? I just remember that was like the college beer. Okay, we just going up. No, my but yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, yeah, no, no. Again, you're definitely not doing the racehorse model. Whatever, fair enough. I just hope that if you blow that pro account, especially when it's so close to passing, I hope the temptation to press the reset button doesn't win out, because it is gonna be a monster of a temptation. No, you are like not even close to the model. You're literally trading one account. That you cannot get any further from the model than what you're doing right now. Oh, okay, I guess that's what you said. You said far from the. Yes, agreed. You are very far. Yes. Where'd that one dude go? I just remembered it. The one guy shows up. What was that? Me or okay? Again, shoot straight with me if you think I'm overreacting or like if I'm misreading the situation. But the one guy shows up and like said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that." Whatever he said, he's like, basically to translate, I did not realize that when you were talking about something, and then I typed "who effing cares," that could be taken as a little bit brash. Was that weird or is that just me? Like, am I a little too dramatic to find that kind of weird? Like this person had no idea, or like he didn't mean it that way, or like I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how you took it that way. You know what I mean? Was that bizarre? Like I guess I could go back up and try to find his comments, but I'm just like, wait, what? How are you confused by this? Not to mention, so I guess he hangs out with somebody that told him about that? I don't know. Are you here? Who's the guy that told him that I replied about all that? Are you here? Like, you're not in trouble. I'm just curious. Like, who's this guy's buddy? This has been a weird stream. We've had some interesting dynamics. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I was trying to be nice. I don't know. I'll try to be gracious. Maybe English was not his first language. Well, then why don't you buy? I'm confused. Why don't you buy? Or maybe all your accounts are locked. Well, on the bright side, oil continues to drift downwards now. Got a new fishing reel coming for CA salmons. Nice. My son would be all about it. Which reminds me, I gotta take them fishing again. Do I try a short right here? Maybe. No, I have not been fishing since last time, no. Yeah, we already have kind of a pond. Okay, I use the pond very loosely. Some would probably call it a glorified mud hole. But I've thought about maybe trying to dig it out at some point. Make it more of a fishing thing. But yeah, I don't know. That'll be a bridge that will be crossed at another time. Now is not the time. One of my funnest memories and favorite things I've done, like within the food and hangout scene, was back in Michigan. Had a buddy that was like an avid bluegill fisher, and then he'd have fish fries, and it'd be bluegill. But he had the patience to like, I don't know how many hours he had into getting all the pieces of meat from them. But man, they were tasty, and it's just kind of fun to hang out. So I'd like to do something like that, but I don't know how feasible that is. Like are bluegill like rabbits? Or like, would it be possible to like fish all the bluegill out of a pond? Those are the questions I do not know. Yeah, there is not any big equipment there anymore. The days of big equipment are long gone. Yeah, but I'm not saying that like a massive public pond. I'm saying like a modest pond at home. Because to have a worthwhile bluegill fish fry, like you need a lot of bluegill. Then sure, but you got to them spawn for a few years. Then sure what? What are you saying sure in regards to? Goodness, 5 points. This distance from here to here is freaking 5 points. I miss the days where this is at least 10 points. You could have plenty in a small pond. Okay. Bluegill are so bony. Yeah, I just know that that's like a great memory I have. Those fish fries were friends, good times. Good size, like mozzarella sticks and onion rings and fries. Good stuff. Just got to let them spawn. What does spawn mean? Is that mating? Okay, here we go. Maybe a short here. It's so jumpy. Yes, sir. Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll cross that bridge at another time. Maybe a short here. I heard that ponds are a lot of work. Yeah, I don't know. Again, for us, we got it one thing at a time. I think our first three things are chickens, garden, and then bees. My wife wants to get into bees. Why do you go for the short and not the green? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Why do you go for the short and not the green? Do you mean why do I go short and not long? What do you mean not the green? Yeah, long. Well, I just think the shorts have more of an edge right now compared to the longs. Or I'm thinking that. If I truly thought that, I'd be in the trade right now. But that I am leaning towards thinking that, yes. So that's why right now I'm doing short instead of the long. So I think the shorts have a better edge right now. I have this. I agree, Indica. Think about all the additional prop firms you could get if you didn't have any alcohol in your monthly budget. You could rent it out. Yeah, but then doesn't mean I have to deliver it. I could not imagine me delivering an excavator anywhere. I wanted to press buttons, so jumped back in with sim mode. So you're being as unrealistic as possible right now. You're probably throwing around like 50 NQs. No, MJ, he's joking around. A couple days ago, I was just because I trade penny stocks, right? So if you trade penny stocks, then you can build 60,000 square foot houses. Hey, KRT. There is nothing free in owning. Yeah, agreed, Caribou. From my understanding, and I'm not the most mechanically inclined guy, anyways. So yeah. Clay, what's your thoughts on TPT? Is the only prop firm I use and I've ever used. They're great. Okay, well, 80-20 split, your ROIs will still be scam-like. Not to mention, I mean, have you gotten payouts on other prop firms before? Like, here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. So, I don't know. Let's just say you bought here. I'll show you what I mean by the 20% is kind of irrelevant. Like, let's just say you get 3 of these accounts before you get any payouts. So we have to have that times 3. So what is that? 306. Okay, so that means your investment is 306. Let's then say you go and you get a payout of 1,000, right? You get a payout of 1,000. But yeah, to be fair, you only get to keep 80% of that. So times 0.8. So $800. Let's then go over here and type $800 and calculate that. That's still an ROI of 161%. So like, does it, I mean, from an ROI standpoint, who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? I wouldn't get caught up in that very much. But again, my original question still stands. I mean, have you gotten have you gotten payouts before? If so, or if not, why don't you just first focus on getting payouts, right? But yeah, no, I love Take Profit Trader. Clean set of rules, easy to understand, very fast payouts when you do get them. Now it's a 3-day pass. So yeah, my thoughts are that, like I said, they're the only prop firm that I've ever used, and that I continue to use. I am not a big believer in prop firms. No. The math suggests prop firms make a whole lot of sense. A whole lot of sense, especially if you are a good trader with your normal accounts. Like, then it becomes like, well, why are you not with a prop firm? Why are you not driving up insane ROIs? And yes, I've had payouts. Okay, well then fair enough. Sometimes, Scott, I ask because it's like people are focused on all those metrics, like profit splits, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, have you ever even gotten a payout before? Well, no. Well, how about you first focus on that? But in your situation, fair enough. But yeah, in all actuality, when you look at the ROIs, it's like, who cares if you keep 80%? Hey, what's up, Candlestick? All right, I am thinking of a long here down to this pivot point. Could be Canada. Could be, and I'm trying to think. What place in the world have caribou? Well, probably Antarctica, Alaska, Canada. This Russia probably has some. There it is, right there. He lives in Canada. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the ROI is scam-like, especially if you know how to trade. Like there are many members that are good traders. They have plenty of money. They could throw $100,000 into a futures account and trade that. But they're like, but why would I do that though? Like, I understand math. Like, I don't care if somebody like makes money because I'm in a prop firm. Like, if I can get, if I can have $500 at risk, and then I go out there and I get a quick payment of 1,000, boom, just like that, my ROI's 100%. I'm not doing that if I have to put $100,000 into a prop account, or I'm sorry, into my own account. So yeah. And then of course, again, if I just accept the premise that you're a good trader, well then you should definitely at least try copy trading and exponentially grow your time. Is Take Profit Trader a one payment? It's every month, but that's why I always just say aim to pass within 1 month. Like 1 month, because of how fast futures move, is plenty of time. So technically, it's not a one-time payment, but like, dude, you got 30 days. So it's, and also from a time standpoint, I'm sorry, like with all due respect, if it takes you 4 months to pass one eval, that's where I will be the first to admit the things start to break down. So like, you have 30 days. But yeah, if you bought, so for example, Sam Laker, if you bought an account today and then you blew it up today, it would just renew a month from now at that same price. But I mean, it'd be all new test at that point. Well, I mean, and not necessarily trading enough. It could just be an account that's chopping up and down, up and down, up and down. No, Indica, I want you to stop drinking. I'm glad you've given up the drugs. Now give up the drinking and watch the money in your budget explode. Some people only take one good trade a day. Well, I guess that's let me put it this way, and I don't mean, again, if a good trade is, oh man, I was in this trade for 6 hours and I made $30. It's like, okay, I think we need to discuss definition of a good trade. I did somewhat good with penny stocks last year. Yeah, I mean, I would assume you see that futures move way better than penny stocks. It did not reach 50 trillion. It reached 40 trillion. Yeah. Again, like I said, there is no need to rush. I'm not advocating rushing. I am just saying once you get into futures and you see how quickly they do move, 30 days is plenty of time to hit those targets. 40 to 50 points a day. Well, yeah, there you go. That's plenty of time to pass within a month. Okay, maybe a short here. Looking for a short at the orange line. The orange line is the previous session close. You can see there's some history with it back here. Let's see if it wants to come up. Looking for a short. There have been quite a few fake breakouts of it, so I'm going to try right here. There we go. So looking for a fake break of the previous session close. No, we don't. You can't replace one vice with another. But yeah, you do have good glue. Not that I know, from what I've heard. From what I've heard. All right, off of it. Well, it happens. He chose poorly. I think it's going to 300 at some point. I agree. I agree. At some point, it'll hit 300. Might not be until 8 weeks from now, but I do agree. At some point, it's going to 300. Agreed. Glad to see some volatility today. Yeah, earlier in the day was good, but now this is kind of a bit Meant this session. All right, there you go. I appreciate the context. Do you enjoy fake breaks or clean rejections more? Well, I mean, that depends. If I'm trying to play a clean rejection and it's a fake break, I get a little nervous. But if I'm trying to play a fake break and it's a fake break, oh, I love fake breaks. But which one do I don't know. It just depends. It's for me. I'm indifferent. It just depends on what I'm looking at for the chart. But yeah, clean rejection. That was clearly the move on that one, and I chose poorly. Right off of that orange line, though. Well, I'm hoping you don't become one. What time is it in Thailand right now? Are you gonna be able to hang out? It's got to be what? They're basically others. What time is it in Thailand right now? Oh, Duck Soul. Okay, I guess you could hang out late night. So like if you showed up at like 10 p.m. Thailand time, you'd be able to hang out here for a little bit. I'm gonna try for a short up there. I just try another. No, too late. All right, I'll wait to see if it comes up to that red line. Looking for the short. I don't know. I might wave the white flag. Literally, nobody is talking in the chat at this point. So, I don't know. Where are we at? 2 hours, 45 minutes. Maybe I just end it. Because it doesn't feel like anybody really wants to hang out anymore, which, fair enough. If it's too slow out there, nobody's here or whatever, that's fine. But yeah, this action is very boring. And if nobody's going to be talking, then yeah. Like, I'm not, yeah, yeah. Right now, I'm totally in, like, I'm here because it's kind of fun to just shoot the breeze. But, like, if there's no breeze shooting, then this action is kind of garbage. I'm green. That is true. I am going to miss NVIDIA earnings. Thank you, Tony Gold. What a polite message that was. Yeah, so on a serious note, and as much as it pains me to talk about this, it is worthwhile. If you are looking for some, I'm not going to say like Fed announcement type movement, but there should be some good quality movement, how long it lasts. And when I say good quality, I mean some very volatile, spiky movement this afternoon when NVIDIA announces. The NQ will care about that. Again, how long does it last? I have no idea on that. Will it be as violent as like a Fed, the Fed announcements with interest rates? I don't know about that. But also just be careful. If you kind of like to normally trade NQ after 4 p.m., in that final hour from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., just beware that there will be a spike. because the markets do care about Nvidia enough to spike the price a little bit. So FYI there on a, like I said, annoying to talk about, but it is worth noting. Come back now. I'll be over at the property doing siding. I did not Deadeye. I'm not. That is not a passion of mine like it is yours. Clay won't. Kyle. Oh, Kyle will for sure. Kyle is already a lady boy, so he can probably give you some thoughts. So Indica, I want you to meet up with Kyle, and he will share all things ladyboy with you. Nvidia beat last time, then the stock fades for the day. All right, well, it sounds like you're going to make a lot of money on Nvidia tomorrow shorting it. Dang, the orange line is doing work. Again, previous session close. Oh, dude, I love when Kyle plays innocent. He plays confused. It's so cute. I'm a dent. And yes, and grass is green. The sky's blue. I'm a beautiful individual. I mean, can you say anything more obvious than that? I'm craving K-pot right now. Okay, all right. All right, you know what? If I get, oh, who cares? If I'm made to be the laughing stock, so be it. But I'm gonna get short here next time it comes up here. It'll probably explode. It'll be funny, but I don't care. Like, let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4 times rejected off the orange line. But will it be the one time I decide to get in, it goes up? If it does, don't worry. You won't be left alone. I'm trying right now. I've been trying, Cool Base. Well, okay, I'm in. Goodness, I turned my head for a second and was filled. Where did that even come from? Give it to me. Are you serious, Clark? Dude, how... Oh, wait. What is going on? Why does that say 5? Wait, was that a partial? Did I get a partial down there? I'm so confused right now. I don't even know what's going on. Did I get filled 5 and that was a... I am very confused right now. All right, I'm just going to hop out. So what happened there? What did I get? Okay, I must have gotten a partial. I think I got 5. And then when it came down here, did I get 4 of those out? And is that how I ended at 1? Okay, well, that was a partial. Everything just happened so fast. Oh, wow. Duck Soul. Okay. This is what I've been training for. This is the crescendo of my life. That trade was for a Cool Base. He's like, can you do one more? So I forced the trade just for him. That was your trading angel? Yeah, they're getting seemingly better and better with these partial fills. Okay. New entry point up there. Short. You can check on. Yeah, that's true. But no, that would make sense because I looked up at 5 and I had one left, so it was a partial. You know, Big Mama has not been back for like at least a month now. It always makes me wonder. Somebody shows up, and then they're just poof gone. And like as far as I'm aware, I would have never. I didn't say anything that offended Big Mama. What was her name? Juanita. I don't remember the. I don't know who Big Mama was, but I remember the name. But there was a period where sometimes we'd have somebody here named Big Mama, Sugar, and then Blueberry, and then Mango, and it was just like it just got sketchy from my wife's perspective when all she heard me in here was talking about, hey, what's up, Mango? Hey, Blueberry. Big Mama. Hey, Sugar. Is it a guy? I don't know. You have to ask Kyle. Kyle is both. Dude, Sugar Mama life was great. Okay, if somebody tells you they're a full time trader and then you learn that their wife is a doctor, are they a full time trader? Like, yeah, I'm a trader for a living. I'm a full time trader, and my wife's a doctor. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Just out of curiosity. I mean, that's a good. Yeah, if you could find a sugar mama that's willing to do that for you, kind of like my hypothetical right now. That's actually not a hypothetical, but like, let's just. Do they share the same account? Oh, I don't know about the same account. I assume they share finances though, because they're married. Blossoms a sugar mama. Well, oh, okay. Again, the question is like, would you consider that person a full time trader if then all of a sudden you find out that their wife is a doctor? If this person goes around like, yeah, I'm a full time trader, I'm a full time trader, my wife's a doctor. I don't. To me, that sounds that's Well, yeah. I do realize technically the right way to go about this conversation is okay. Well, let's define like a full time trader and stuff like that. But just I don't know. To me, it sounds weird. Oh yeah, I'm a full time trader. My wife's a doctor. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And he's got fantastic, great secondary income. By the way, this is not a hypothetical. There is somebody here. Again, to his credit, he could have not. He could have lied about it or just left it out. But man, there is a guy that's just like. I mean, he wants people to know. Hey, I'm a full time trader. I've been doing this full time for the past 7 years. Then come to find out his wife is a doctor. It's like, I mean, yeah. Maybe that's how she lets him contribute to the bank account. Yeah. Contribute by making it go down. The downwards contribution. My wife is Big Mama. Yeah, that's slippage account exactly. I don't call myself a full time trader. Like I said, it's up for definition, but my definition of like full time trader is like literally that's like your stream of income. So that's why I'm like I don't know. Like if literally your only stream of income is from trading and that's all you do, it's like okay. But I would consider myself, and I'd encourage all of you, and I think many of you are this. Let's aim to be full time income stream creators. Full time income stream creators. So yeah, I would not call myself a full time trader. I reject that. I am a full time income stream creator because I could not do this if this was my only. Like, let me put it this way: if this was my only stream of income, I'd never be able to do it. The pressure would be too much to have to figure out how to feed 6 kids and my wife, and to have that needing to come from trading. That pressure would just that'd be rough. So that's why I always say aim to create many streams of income. No, I'm not even a full-time YouTuber. Is that a stream of income? Sure. Again, my premise is this. I think when people say full-time trader, majority think, "Oh, that's what they do for a living. That's how they support themselves." I think that's the connotation. And I would say, yeah, no, I don't even know if that's really possible to support yourself from trading. I think the better way to support yourself in life is just to have many streams of income because that's what wealthy people do. But yeah, for me to say I'm a full time trader or like I trade for a living, and then I have real estate income streams, I have YouTube income streams, I have other income streams. It's like it's not like like that's kind of deceptive in the sense like day trading is like not supporting me. Like I'm day trading is not like maintaining things. Hey, cool base, let me tell you this. The best way to get ignored is to copy and paste and spam the chat. If your question is that important, feel free to do a super chat. No, I'm not saying anybody has to do a super chat in order to get a question answered. But I'm saying if it is that important, then just do a super chat. But a quick way to get ignored is to just keep spamming it over and over again. And real quick, before anybody tells me, again, and that guy would be like, I'm a full time trader. It's like, really? You support yourself from trading? Well, I mean, my wife's a doctor. It's like, okay, is that really like a full time? I don't think so. Well, I know so and so is a full time trader. And then you tell me their YouTube channel. I go there and they have ads turned on. They sell t shirts. They have a subscription service and a code. Now, to that person, I say, well done. They are doing multiple streams of income. But don't tell me they're a full time trader with the essence of like they support themselves from trading. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's always a fun one. Oh yeah, I'm a full time trader and my wife's a doctor. It's like, yeah, that it just sounds weird to me. How do you contribute to your long term investments? Monthly. Yeah. So I only do my budgeting numbers at the end of every month, I guess you could say the beginning of a month for the previous one. And then at that point, I'll do it once a month. Yeah. If I can replace my current job with trading and my spouse keeps, am I a full-time trader? Not per my definition, no. Because a lot of people do this. I'm going to quit my job and become a full-time trader, right? And what they're essentially saying is I'm going to support myself through trading. And I think that's a really bad idea. I think multiple streams of income are a good way to support yourself. Yeah, being married, yeah, that is true. Yeah, Denton, it's nothing complicated. And I'm not saying you have to do it every month. That's how I do it. But yeah, if doing it once a week helps keep things more disciplined, go for that. It's about the habits. It's not necessarily about the structure itself. Like, no, it's got to be monthly or it's got to be weekly or it's got to be, but no, just do whatever puts you in the habit of doing it, right? Whatever will help you do it in this situation. Set money aside to invest into a portfolio, which by the way is the beginning of one income stream, right? One of my income streams is dividend income, right? That's why I don't like stocks in the category of day trading. But do I invest in stocks? Absolutely. And I like dividend paying stocks because that is a form of passive income. It is an income stream. Now, is it possible to support yourself from day trading? I think there are exceptions. You're 18 years old, you live in your mom's basement, she pays your cell phone bill, and you make some money from trading. I guess you're supporting yourself from day trading. But if you're a father of 6 kids, and you're like, hey Clay, I have 6 kids. I'm gonna quit my job and support myself from day trading, aka be a full-time trader. I'm gonna be like, no, that's a really bad idea. That pressure is gonna pump your head up, is gonna pop your head like a pimple. But I think that's the what most people are thinking. Full-time trader in the sense of you support yourself from trading. And that's why I say, no, I am of the mindset and I encourage everybody to be a full-time income stream creator because multiple income streams are a great way to support yourself. That is how my logic flows. Now, if you're saying, hey, Clay, I have 6 kids, I'm going to quit my job and my wife's a brain surgeon, it's like, okay, I mean, I guess that's okay because in all actuality, your wife is going to support the situation regardless. But don't be walking around telling people like I'm a full-time trader in the sense of I support my family. Well, no, your wife is subsidizing you trying to be like, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm a moron. I'm a moron. I'm not saying this is a good idea, but this is what I did. So this is what me being a stupid moron did. I was like, let me go study what wealthy people do and see what they did. And you don't have to believe me. You can go study. In fact, don't believe me. Go study them. Here's a spoiler. One thing you'll notice about wealthy people is they have multiple streams of income. They don't go all in any stream of income. They diversify their streams of income. So I'm like, I think I'm going to try that. And you know what? It's worked out pretty good. I did. Yeah, there you go. But I think, and I think I'm all good. I did say at one point, and I wanted to delete stuff. But I don't know, maybe somewhere out there I still say it. But I do think it's deceiving. And again, I'm not saying anybody's doing it maliciously because I never was. But like to when people are out there calling themselves full-time traders, and then you look by and they seem like, well, holy crap, you're making money from a variety of ways. Again, good job. But like you're making it seem as though you're supporting yourself from day trading when that's not actually the case. Like there are many angles that are supporting you, which again, I'm on board with that. But like, I don't know. I think it's a little, to me, it gets a little squirrely. So, anyways, that was just, I don't even know how we got in the topic. How do we, because I know I threw out the question about what are your thoughts? So those are my thoughts. I would not call that person a full-time trader, given kind of how I define things. Running around calling yourself a full-time trader, acting as if like there's like you're supporting a situation when your wife's a doctor. It's like, well, I think you're a little fast and loose. And that is always also why I say, again, my definition, if you want to be a full-time trader, defined as being able to support yourself from just day trading, that is where location literally makes that goal easier or harder. The person that wants to be a full-time trader and live in New York City is going to have to make more money than the person that has the same exact goals, but that lives in Mobile, Alabama, for example. All right? Or Louisville, Kentucky, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong. If you want to live in Paris, France, or London, England, or Tokyo, Japan, or San Francisco, LA, Chicago, go for it. But you have now made your goal harder because you just have to make that much more money because you're in an area where your cost of living's higher. In many ways, I've made that goal harder, which is not my goal anyways. But even if it was, I made it harder by having 6 kids, right? Because that's going to cost more than either having 2 kids or no kids at all, right? So it's all give and take. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really bad idea to expect and have the goal of trading literally supporting you in all ways. Have it be a way amongst multiple other ways. That's why never, ever, 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 ever let anybody make you feel stupid because you have a full-time job while you trade. I applaud that because that's 2 streams of income right there. But too many people, like, I don't know, there's just connotation out there. Like, you're a loser if you have a full-time, if you have the 9 to 5 job. No, I applaud you. Good job. That's like a good, stable, steady stream of income. I like that. That's good. Yeah, I can't say that I know anything about daycare costs. I've heard it's expensive, but given we homeschool and all that sort of stuff, and my wife's stay at home anyways, yeah, I have heard that daycare can get a little pricey. Yeah, yep, JB, and you're definitely taking it serious. Yeah, penny saved is a penny earned. So in that way, I mean, my wife, she gets a salary. Benjamin Franklin style, penny saved, penny earned. But yeah, I'm being dead serious. If anybody ever makes you feel or like their shtick is like you're kind of a loser if you have a 9 to 5, go follow. Just hang around with other people. That's so bush league. Yeah, Pam, you came back to a little bit different environment of when you left. That's for sure. I have 2 jobs outside of this, and that's awesome. I mean, it depends what they mean. To be fair to your friends, it can be a waste because you're not dealing with any voices in your head. I'm not saying it's a total waste, but it is somewhat of a waste because until you have skin in the game and skin in the game prompts the voices to show up in your mind, then it's that's why uh, you know again, I'm not saying paper trading is totally a waste, but at the end of the day, it's not about how. I mean, yes, being able to read a chart is important, stuff like that, but it's can you manage the voices in your mind? That's what trading ultimately is, voice management. And the only way to ever learn to manage the voices is you have to meet the voices. And the only way to meet the voices is you have to get some skin in the game. Does the town give No. Entropy, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. Well, they know nothing about the stock market. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean that they can't be wrong, right? If somebody says, I don't know anything about math, 2 plus 2 equals 4, does that mean that they don't know what they're talking about? You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying, but just because they don't know anything about the stock market doesn't mean that they couldn't still say something that's true. I've never seen this clay trader individual, but he looks like a Greek god. Again, that's true. Just because they've never seen me doesn't mean that they cannot say something true about me. Also, love it. That's good stuff. Yeah, I will try a long down here if it pulls back. We have the 21 EMA that's caught up. Kind of like a double little whammy right there. There we go. Not the Greek god joke again. Well, I mean, it's not a joke, though. That's the thing. So you can go ahead and shut your mouth because that's not a joke. Hey, I can't even say your name. Hey, UF. Mary had a little zip it. The itsy bitsy zip it. Cause I'm TNT. Dinah zip it. Again, looking for a long on the pullback here. That was the craziest thing I've heard. Calling the Greek god thing a joke. Clay, I've been watching your stream for a long time and you never get old, huh? And you never get old. Oh, thank you. You ever listen to the song, the lyrics? Okay, that makes sense why my brain's starting to shut down. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes pretty much in. But if you ever listen to the lyrics, it's intense. Ain't got TNT done. Ain't got no gun, or I ain't got no gun, ain't got no knife. Cause my fists are dynamite. Dang, that's a straight up baller there. Maybe it's not, and maybe not. Yeah, don't start no fight and got, yeah. Intense lyrics. Can you do, let's give it a try. Don't cry for me, Argentina. All right, here we go. We'll see if I get demonetized for that. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get rid of my friends. Making last forever. Friendships. All right, okay, there we go. We'll see if I confuse the algorithm. I probably did. Well, probably the algorithm's like, no, that can't be the song because that sounded so much better. Ace, that made my day. The fact that you're walking around and like you could be, this is how I envision it in Ace's life. He helps a sweet old little lady across the street. And you know, oh, thank you, Sonny. And then Ace just like, Duck Soul, and then just walks off. I really hope that's a true story. You're not a bad singer, Clint. Well, I mean, anything other than that comment would be a lie. I walk around calling everyone. Do you throw a baboon on the end or just dented? We were more. Maybe. Again, I'm trying to get long right there on the pullback. If it wants to pull back. Occasionally call for, okay, so the baboons, yeah. Yeah, to be dented, and then if you want to escalate that one level up, a dented baboon, is even better. Well, I should say it's even more severe. Which, for the record, I am in the category of dented baboon. Were you? That makes my day. That people are yelling that out. That's great. Okay, here we go. Maybe if this green line turns blue, I'm in. Looking to go long on the pullback. I'm doing this one again for what was his name? Cool Base, whatever the spammer guy was. Asked the question and then like copy and paste, and it was like copy paste enter, copy and paste enter. Short? No, I got to try a long here, brother. My wife was like, and that's when you walk up to her and you just go shh, and as you do that, you say doxol, and then you walk away. There's nothing creepy about that at all. I'm a typer. I have I'm a joker. I'm a toker. I'm a midnight. What is that? Steve, what is that? Joker. Who sings that song? That's what I just think when I heard I'm a typer. Okay, here we go. Maybe along here. Steve Miller, thank you. What's the lyric there? What is he? I'm a what? I know one of them is a midnight toker. What are the other ones? Dude, come on. No, I'm not going to play your games. Now it seems like if I get filled there, it's just going to dump down through. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. Okay, that's what it is. So for a cool base, I'm a typer. I'm a joker. I'm a meth head smoker. I don't have any patience, so I spam the chat. A mid dog. Yo, that's good. That's good. Okay, oil approaching a pretty interesting level. We have the pivot point. Look at that little smooch. Do we get a bounce there? I hope not. I want oil to crater, but off to the LP Book of Dreams. LP. LP. What would LP stand for? Book of Dreams. Bentley, so mysterious. I would agree with that. I would agree that. So I think I guess it kind of depends on back in the day, like your definition of that. Because I'm getting old now, so like back in the day for you, if you're talking about like 90s and early 2000s, I'm like, wait a second, what? That's not back in the day. That wasn't that long ago. Long playing a 33, a 33 1/3 record. Oh, I'm a joker. All right, there it is. Oil at that level, kind of. What's gold doing? Ooh, gold's trying to come up. Meanwhile, we're just putzing around here in NQ land. Do we have any Pink Pony Club song fans? Demon Hunters are better. Is that's the name of a band, isn't it? Oddly enough, I think I just heard that like this past week. Demon Hunters Band. Yeah, that the heavy stuff. Not quite my cup of tea. Like if you feel bad for the singer's voice as they sing, that's kind of one of the lines I draw. It's like I'm not quite there. For some reason, blues music, yeah, I don't get it. Like, hey, let's go to the blues club. I don't understand that. I'm sure there's appreciation that I'm not understanding and therefore missing. But yeah, like heavy metal, blues, like I don't know, rap. I don't know, rap started to stop being good back like I don't know. Probably not. I don't even. Well, what's '90s grunge? Give me an example of a band that would be '90s grunge. I don't think so, but maybe I do without even realizing it. No, Demon Hunter, K-pop, K-pop or K-pop. You only like Ralphie, Alice in Chains. Okay, yeah, okay. Like so, like Black Hole Sun. That was decent. Yeah, Black Hole Sun. Won't you? What's the other one? Play-Doh Man or something? They had two famous ones. Black Hole Sun. What else? Like Play-Doh Man. What was the other? It wasn't Play-Doh Man. Spoon Man. Thank you. Do I even want to look at the lyrics of Spoon Man? Okay, here. Okay. Last week on the job site, they were wondering about some songs, and I was like, "Dude, me, she's so mean. Who likes the song She's So Mean by Matchbox 20? Classic. So good. So good. We were jam. And I don't know if we have any psychologists here, but like, I don't know. Like, there might be a name for this, but it was very odd because somehow he played She's So Mean from Matchbox 20, and then it like went on this Matchbox 20 kick. And I started to hear like songs that it has to have been 20 years since I've heard these things. And then like I could still sing it. Like, do we have anybody here that like is there a term for that? Like where this stuff is stored in your mind, you totally forget about it, but then like you hear the music and the lyric, and it's like bam, you just remember it. Like, is there like a name for that, or is there like a name for that phenomenon? Or it was so weird though. I wanna push you down. Well, I will. Like, I have not heard that song forever, and then it played, and I just started to sing it. Like, what is that called? A flashback? Like, no, that's no. Like, what's the? There's got to be some sort of medical, like, psychology term for that. And I'm a little bit rusty, and I feel my head is caving in. A memory? Deja vu. I don't know. It was. Has anybody else ever had this? You have not heard a song, and like I said, I'm getting old now. So there's no way I heard this song for at least bare minimum 10 years, probably more 20. No, I never did LSD, and don't do LSD, folks. There we go for the algorithm, just in case. Don't do it. Yeah, like ask me what I did like 20 minutes ago. I have no idea, but like the lyrics from a song 20 years ago. Oh, sign me up, coach. So it makes me wonder what other great songs are out there that I've forgotten about. Where if I hear them, they'll come back to me. But as of now, I've forgotten about them.
I know a girl who she gets what she wants all the time.
Why? Why does she get what she wants all the time? What's the next lyric? Tell me. Don't Google it. Don't cheat. Again, I know a girl who gets what she wants all the time. Why? And nobody knows, huh? Oh man, we got this is no, that's not it. No, no. Nobody knows the lyric? Are you kidding me? Imprinting of the lyrics into the gray matter. Okay, imprinting. That sounds like a psychological term. Dang. Because she's fine. Oh my, what are we doing here, folks? Do I have to play this song? Because she's an uptown, getting around, and then the drums in that song. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? What are you guys doing? You should be ashamed of yourselves. Everybody turn in your man card. If you don't know that Matchbox 20 lyric, turn in your man card. Go ahead. Shave your chest, turn in your man card. Okay, I'm going to try along here. Are you the only one here that has brain trauma? I mean, listens to heavy metal. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay, Deadeye Dave. I don't know what. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's a vacation right there. Put him in timeout. That's a 10-second timeout right there for Deadeye Dave. Never listen to Maxbox 20. What kind of communist are you? Nah, nothing, Zach. I can't think of anything. Okay, there we go. Maybe a trade here. You can't make this stuff up. I cannot get filled here to save my life. No, now it's going to be the dump. No, no, not going to play this game. I think the terms are recognition and okay. That sounds kind of scientific. Post. More of a oh my. Okay, that's these. Yeah, that's 10 seconds for Kyle. That's just that's the worst thing I've heard. I'm not a minute. Just 10 seconds. That's crazy. Kyle's gone for 10 seconds. All right. This really, I'm having. It seems like we've entered into the day where if I'm gonna get filled, like the requirement of getting filled right now is it's gonna go against me for at least a momentary amount of time. Okay, come down and then I'll throw the order right here. No, come down through the orange line. There we go. Perfect. All right. If it comes back up, I'll try the long. Oh, all right. Well, never mind. This is where my stop was going to be. Nope. All right. That trade plan is off the table now. Okay, good. I'm glad I waited for confirmation. Matchbox 20 is hard rock. I don't know. What would Matchbox 20 be considered? I'm not sure. That's a fair question. All the small things. If you don't know what I just sang there, you should be ashamed of yourself also. You should be ashamed of yourself. Attaboy, Johnny. I can tell Johnny's got a hairy chest. Hairy chest. Stop, Johnny. Don't ruin it. Green. Stop. You guys are just trolling. Stop it. It's not funny. Total dork, dude. I can see his hair from here. That man's got a hairy chest. I mean, his testosterone. Stop it. All right, Post is still working on chest hair. Every day he wakes up, he runs to the mirror, turns on the light, gets out his flashlight, and then he just starts looking for that first hair. Is today the day? That's his morning routine. No doubt in my mind. I have not exaggerated or made anything up. No doubt in my mind. That is his morning routine. And no. No platform shoes. You're just in Crocs. Post, don't worry. I know there's some weird things going on with your voice right now. It's getting close. It's getting close, brother. I know you've spent a lot of money on batteries for that flashlight, but it's getting close, brother. That's not nice, MJ. That's not nice to laugh at somebody else's voice. Because you know that was pinpoint accurate to what Post is going through right now. Is this a short? Is this going to be a back test and go? Or is this just kind of like one of these fake little nasty breakdowns? I don't know. I think I'm on a... I guess, I know for sure it happened. I think Monday. I think I'm on like a 2 live stream streak of like last trades are losers. Again, I know that's recency effect. I know this is all isolated, but man, I'm actually now getting kind of scared to take a trade. As we approach the 4-hour mark on the live stream, I'm getting a little worried. Again, that's bad psychology. It's just recency effect, but still, it's playing mind games with me. I know a girl, she gets what she wants all the time. Clay, you have the best chat on the net. I love. Well, that's funny. I'm glad you do. But as one of my life business mottos goes, the best way to please nobody is to try to please everybody. So I assure you, there are some people that probably think this is the most baboon infested den on the internet. And you know what? They're right. They're right. Not everybody is not everybody's gonna jive with dented baboons. But if you are yourself a dented baboon, you'll fall right into place. You'll have a good time. If you got yourself a sense of humor, I think you'll do all right. Do you need a little bit of quirkiness in the sense of humor? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. That's right. It's freedom in here. Yeah, if you got a couple extra brain cells to burn. Well, I don't know if you're burning brain cells. It's just, you know what? No. I think you gain brain cells here because I think laughter is a good thing. I think, laid back, just trying to joke around is a good thing. I think that builds brain cells. There you go. I'm going to try to twist it in my favor there. All right, I'm going to try a short up here. Tight stop. It either basically triple tops up here or not. 1, 2. Can we get the third? Right there. That's the question on my mind. But yeah, if this thing is just going to go straight up, then it's going to be a losing trade, folks. I should probably get up over. There we go. Here we go. Your entry is my target. Hey, there we go. It's almost like you're taking profit at a resistance and I'm trying to get short at a resistance. Weird. Weird. It's almost like we're using the same logic, but just from different angles. Or I don't know, maybe that's all just coincidence. What do I know? I am just a dented baboon. I know a girl and she gets what she wants all the time. Cause she's fine. She's Can't believe I closed today to do laundry, missed this full. I mean, we had this conversation earlier, and we all do it. But like, I don't know, maybe laundry saved you a bunch of money, because this move right here would have absolutely destroyed you. To be fair, maybe you missed out on making a whole lot of money. But like, you don't get to just assume you would have played this whole move well. You know what I mean? Like I said, we all do that. We look at an epic move and we're like, oh man, I missed it. It's like, well, maybe you missed just not getting steamrolled. Oh, you're joking. I mean, it did make a move though, to be fair. Like, there was a move. Like, if you went to do laundry right here and you're coming back here, I can see like, oh man. But you were just joking. Okay. Great trade, Clay. You're either behind in the stream or maybe you mean potential trade. Great potential trade. Stupid. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wave the white flag on today. So before I head out, though, a couple things. First off, if you enjoy the stream, if you want to help support it, the best way to support it is to save yourself money at the same time by using code CLAY with any of these prop firms. So whatever deals and promotions they're currently offering, code CLAY, which is case sensitive, so it's got to be all caps, CLAY. With any of these prop firms, we'll give you that deal. So you are literally saving money while at the same exact time helping to support a stream by just keeping the stream ad-free and then just keeping the stream alive and going well. And like I said, I've not missed a day in over a year, and I'll continue with that sort of dedication as long as it makes sense to be here. And to be very blunt and transparent, it makes sense for me to be here. That is dependent on whether or not people are using code CLAY. So that is, I can't really get any more blunt than that. So as much as I enjoy being here, there is the business aspect. I've got to be able to justify taking 4 hours out of my day to do this. And code CLAY is a way that justifies that. So there we go. I know that offends some people, but it is what it is. I got to be, as a dad of 6, I got to be wise with my time. So that's all I have. Like I said, I'm going to head out. On your way out yourself, if you don't mind hitting that like button, if you have not yet, that'd be great. Make sure to subscribe and then turn on notifications. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Usually I do show up early, which is why I say hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you are notified of when I do go live. But yeah, that's all I have. So I'm going to head over to the property, help the fellas with some trimming, and we're going to keep on moving forward. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Take care. Have a good one. See everybody back tomorrow. Hit that like button, code CLAY. Take care, everybody.